Hello and welcome to the Geek Fortress stream where I did very little prep to start things off because I was running behind, which seems to be the theme for the day. However, the lighting is a little bit off, so I'm going to play with the camera just a touch before we get going. But thank you so much for joining, and of course I do have to put out this word to the people who are watching because I know you're all excited. Have you heard? Probably not, because I only found out somewhat recently and then I did a decently poor job of informing people that tomorrow is a Geek Fortress Legacy GPT, which I'm excited about. I hope that you're excited about it. And let's see if I can play with these colors to get it to the right level. There we go. And now I just gotta play with this. All right. How do we do there? Decent, but not great. Good start. Sorry, I was running a little bit late, so I'm doing everything on the fly at the moment, though it's still kind of medium. Let's try taking that up just a touch. Bringing that down just a touch. And then bringing this up just a touch. Oh my goodness, that got weird. Man, I am not good at this. There we go. That'll do. Okay. Yes, it will be at noon my time. Legacy GPT, noon my time here at Geek Fortress, and we should be having some Legacy here start shortly. I'm excited about it. Hopefully you are too, and hopefully this camera isn't set to autofocus. But we will find out about that in just a moment. Also, do we ever learn about Project X? Project X was unsuccessful, so probably not. What up?
You have a match down there.
Tell me all about it. Who's facing the wall?
Actually, it's John.
Ooh, wait, which John? Okay.
And it's Chance on the wall.
Okay.
John's on Infect.
Didn't he crush last week with this?
He did, and Chance is on Black Red Reanimate.
I'm gonna give the win to Infect.
I agree.
All right, let's see what we do. Okay, everybody, we have got our first match of the evening. It is going to be round 1 of 4, Infect versus Black Red Reanimator. Let's head on down, have some fun. I'm excited. I hope to see a turn 1 Star of Insanity, but time will tell. See you down there. Alright, the players setting up here. So, to kick things off, Chance going into his opening hand, we do see some lands. I do see an Entomb and a Reanimate. If he has got some fast mana going on, he could be sitting pretty nice. But, John with the Force of Will in hand, looking pretty good. Let's see, and I Brainstorm, I believe, so could potentially have 2 Force of Wills. But the Inkmoth Nexus, the only pressure. This is a very reactive hand, not a proactive hand. You don't even know who to vote for. They're both so evil. Oh, that's brutal. I'll tell you what. Root for both of them then. Then it's even. Also, if you haven't yet and you get the chance, be sure to check out my audition for the Turn 1 Thoughtseize podcast. I'm on the back half of the one with Mrs. Mulligan and myself. It was a lot of fun. And basically that one, now I am just in love with the idea of doing a podcast, so one way or another, I've decided to find a way to do a podcast. And that's just what I'm going to do. Because it's fun, it sounds fun, it is fun, and if I can do that in front of this, you want them both to lose, that sounds right? Yes, you're basically rooting for both of them. Noble Hierarch from John to kick things off with on the play, Infect, looking pretty good. Chance going down to 19 to just follow him here. Let's does Chance have the fast mana to go for it? Do a Joe Cool MTG podcast? Honestly, I'm sorry to say this, but I don't know enough about Joe Cool to really do a podcast based on him. I simply am a fan, but not an expert. Your modded Storm deck stomped all over an Infect deck tonight, so you're hoping his legacy brethren to do him justice. Nice! Okay, I dig it. We've got, Unmasked taking a look at 2 Force of Wills, so cannot take that no matter what. John has got an active Force of Will. So I think you maybe just take the Brainstorm? Yep, okay. You just take the Brainstorm at the moment, just to make sure that John can't refill that hand eventually. And I think between all the effects, you're probably going to Force of Will this one. I think that John is much more concerned with taking out the cards that put creatures into the graveyard than the ones that get them out. Because then, if you can prevent that, it forces Chance to find both pieces again. And I think it has a lot more ways to bring them back than put them in. Conflux, it's good to see you. Welcome back. Looks like John getting the Inkmoth Nexus out, getting the Tropical Island out, getting the Noble Hierarch out, but not developing a whole lot of pressure yet. Keeping a little bit of mystery as to what is in the hand, even though we know that there's not a whole lot. But a pass back from Chance says that there is not too much happening here. Now, if Chance did have an Entomb, which I think he does, I actually would have liked to see him fire this off passing the turn to John on his main phase. He had enough information to know that at that point John did not have a Force or a Force of Will and another blue card. And I think letting him draw 2 cards possibly gave him, it gave John the possible out to get into a Force of Will and a blue card. Or even, potentially a Daze. It's 2 shots to get a Daze. If his intent was to always do this, and he wasn't dead on the board, or he had no way to stop being dead on the board, I think just going for this during the main phase probably would have been my preferred way, but it doesn't look like it's going to punish too much anyway. Chance going to put in a Griselbrand, the Gristle Daddy, if you will. Do I think that commentating Legacy has made me a better Legacy player? I think that commentating in general has made me in some ways a better player and in some ways a worse player. I think that I have a greater knowledge of the format as a whole and some of the interactions, but I have significantly less muscle memory from just playing the cards and knowing the common lines as far as the internal thinking. So I know what the deck can do, but I don't know how it exactly puts itself into the position to do that. Is I guess kind of how I would describe my experience with it. So I think overall it's been good, but especially when I was approaching this podcast and when I do other conversations about Magic, I think more than anything it gives me a perspective which is a little bit unique as this third party anytime that I'm talking about a deck. Brawler Cable, thank you so much for the follow. Because often when you hear people describe a deck, they talk about it from the perspective of either playing it or playing against it, and that's kind of where their knowledge base lies, because that's how they've seen it. But I've done so much just third-party viewing of Magic that it gives me kind of this interesting perspective to take a step back and kind of approach it in a non-biased, or a less biased fashion, I guess. So that is something that I quite enjoy, but Chance going to draw the 7, goes down to 5. Pretty safe against this deck, though. There is some world in which looks like John does have a Vines of the Vastwood. Not enough, and we're just going to pass it back. The nice part is that Chance doesn't really have the opportunity to attack particularly well. So Chance landing this Griselbrand does not mean a win right off the bat. Possibly an Iona would have been a good choice, and maybe the Sire of Insanity would have been an okay... not against an Inkmoth Nexus, actually. You're going to go play a game of League and then you'll be back? Alright, we'll see you in a bit. But as far as being a better Legacy player, most of my experience in playing Legacy is with Burn. I think I could play other decks better because of it, but I haven't had the opportunity to test that. But I would like to. Faithless Looting from Chance. Not quite sure what he's digging for at this point. Probably just to put in... Never mind. There we go. Drew has an Iona, and maybe he's just looking to put in another big threat. Cut off the... I might cut off the... Ooh, green or blue? Looks like we are just going to see a Force of Will here. double fetch, and John is going to cast a Force of Will without exiling a blue card from his hand. Going to go down to 16 for the double fetch, but using this Noble Hierarch for mana. And Chance is going to lose the opportunity to bring that back. Has more Reanimate in hand, so John running out of time, looking for an answer, but not off to a good start. Despite the fact that Chance is struggling to put this in, he is still so far ahead on board. Now, attacking for Chance is risky, however, because if he turns this Gristlebrand sideways, there is just a chance that John untaps and kills him. So I think, but it looks like that's what he's willing to do. And I believe that John, you know, there's basically a couple of draws. Berserk would do it. Another 4/4/4 would do it. And it's a Dryad Arbor, which is not enough. So we are going to activate this. We're going to get in for 2 of this poison, and we're going to be up to 4 of it. John not quite dead to the board. Chance going to be bringing back this Iona. Chance now closing the loop that John was able to thread, and this... I mostly just wanted to give you this look. I just wanted to give you this look. That would be a good fetch. Woo. Why don't people play that? Wow. And we have gotten Exhume, so let's bring back an Iona, and I imagine that we'll just name green. Thank you. Naming green. Welcome for... Oh man, I forgot that was still a command. Welcome for joining, everybody. It's good to see you. So we've got an Iona and a Tidespout Tyrant on the field, and John has decided to put in his own particular brand of cereal. He calls it 2 scoops of game 2. That wasn't a very good joke. I'm never going to use that again. I'm disappointed in myself. Chance taking game 1 with a Tidespout Tyrant, an Iona, and a Gristlebrand on the field. 3 strikes, and John is out. I know that Chase would just be pleased. When you say John, you hear Jund. Well, you know, you just gotta Jund him out. Hello, Kitsanth. How are you? I hope you are doing well. Goodness, the rogue chat is all about right now. Goodness gracious. Okay. Still so happy that top is gone. Actually, yeah, I don't know. Legacy seems to be okay. I know that some people in our chat are quite disgruntled about it or saddened by it. And hopefully they find a place in Legacy again. But for now, Legacy seems to be doing okay. Anyone on the new deck that's sweeping the format? Psychotog? I honestly couldn't tell you, Chase. Good to see you, by the way. But I could not tell you for certain. I am only aware of, at this moment, that Black-Red Reanimator and Infect are in the field. Doing well. You don't normally enjoy Legacy much. Hey, but you can always love the Geek Fortress stream, right? But you are interested in the Post-Miracles meta. It is going to be an interesting one. Certainly. Moondrius, hello, hello. Sup, sup, sup. Today's theme is being late everywhere. Don't like it. But that is okay. Also, I was trimming my beard yesterday, and I trimmed too much, and so it all had to go. And so now I am just to this, and I seriously considered cutting this off, but then that was terrifying, so I didn't. But now I'm at least partially clean-shaven again. Are proxies allowed? We have reduced the number allowed, but yes, you are allowed 15 proxies. This is not our FNM. Our FNM is actually draft. This one is a non-sanctioned event that we run on the side to have some fun with. You have some Japanese psychotogs? Woo! That is beautiful. It's these frogs, man. It's these frogs. Yeah, frogs are cool, I guess. Yep, we used to allow any number in the deck, but a couple. It started to get. It started to start. Oh no! It entered into the realm of getting abused for that, to where we had 4 copies of one particular deck that was miserable to play against, like 4 copies of blue-white hard prison with no win condition would show up occasionally. Okay. Huh. Explain proxy. Well, let me tell you about Constructed, says MTG Bot. Did anybody notice that the Pro Tour has got MTG Bot finally, which is super cool? When people play full proxy decks, I'm actually okay with it personally, as long as the spirit of that is followed. I really do enjoy the idea of letting anybody play the format. Obviously, this is something to where, like, if they should be building into the format or trying it out or finding what they love and then maybe try and get into it, because you can't use it anywhere else. But making it so that more people can play Magic, it always seems beneficial to me. And that is the most unfortunate hand. Inkmoth Nexus, a Karakas, and a handful of green and blue spells. Does John keep this on the draw despite it being almost exactly garbage? Hoping to draw well because of the power of this Karakas. No, he does not. John decides to take the right call. And Chance mulligans along with him. Now, between these two decks, I would say that the deck that runs Brainstorm probably mulligans better, but Chance has got a 2-card combo functionally that he's got a lot of redundant pieces of in Entomb and Faithless Looting, and then Animate Dead and Reanimate and Exhume. So Chance might mulligan pretty well. He used to play No Win Con. No Wick on No Stick. Legacy GP to be streamed tomorrow? Yes, it is. Tomorrow at noon Pacific time, which is about 16 hours from now. We will be going live. I will have Coleman in the booth with me. We are going to stream our Legacy GPT, which will then be followed immediately by our Modern weekly event. So I will be in here for, I don't know, 10 to 11 hours tomorrow. I'm excited about it. It should be a lot of fun. I love doing these marathon streams. The numbers usually end up really excellent. We are going up against the Pro Tour, which makes it for a pretty rough viewership levels, but that's fine because it's just about showing cool things, right? And getting to show more Legacy is really fun, especially in a Legacy community that is somewhat starved for content, and also just more streaming because I don't know. I am extremely thankful and feel incredibly fortunate that we have gotten as popular as we have, doing functionally 4 and 5 hour streams when those are generally considered kind of the bare minimum length of a stream that usually you can do to get good viewers. Okay. You got interested in Legacy again after Top was banned? Well, I'm glad that you're interested in Legacy, and I'm glad that you're having fun with it. That's super exciting. So, John just kicking things off with a Wooded Hills Chance, following up with a Badlands off of a Polluted Delta. Has Legacy Elves been doing well? I think that Legacy Elves is set up to do very, very well right now. I would not at all be surprised if Elves was a very big contender tomorrow. Black Eye Skier, thank you so much. I do appreciate that. So we've got a crop rotation from John. A Pendelhaven sitting on the field now. That crop rotation able to get Karakas. And we'll see if Chance remembers to play around that, because Gristlebrand and Iona, both legendary creatures, might have to make... Ooh, let's see if we end up going for it. No, we are going to let that happen. And it might be because we also have a Blighted Agent and a Berserk. So Chance may prioritize the Blighted Agent, but I think hitting the crop rotation is probably the best call. Storm is the best deck in the format right now. That one is a rough matchup for them. So I could see an Elves deck making some sort of concession to fix that matchup slightly. Legacy tomorrow. Yes, yes, yes. Hold on here. I need to get a thing to where, Okay. Hey, Doro. Doro, I know you might be busy, so please feel free to say no. But if you are free to do so, could you make a quick command that's just, GPT that says that tomorrow at noon Pacific time there will be a Legacy GPT here at Geek Fortress being streamed by myself and Coleman. If you are able to do it, you can word it however you'd like. What it do, boo? Says Batusai. It's good to see you. How you doing? I'm doing well. Late to everything today, but having fun anyway. It's just that kind of day. So, Chance with 2 lands, down to 16. Hasn't made a whole lot of progress yet, but neither has John. Sitting with an Invigorate in hand. Lost the Blighted Agent, but has a Berserk and a Blighted and an Invigorate in hand. Which means that John could theoretically crop rotate for the Inkmoth Nexus and... Oh, but would not have a forest. So John needs to have a forest. You're doing great, thanks. Ah, you're welcome. Thoughtseize here from Chance, looking to fall down to 14, and that is going to throw a wrench in this plan of John's, who does not have a forest yet. You also hear John when I say John. John. Huh. They are pretty similar. And we're going to go for the Caracas. Getting rid of the Pendelhaven. Making sure that John can still get a forest in play, knowing that he has this Invigorate. Pretty cool tech. Pretty cool tech. Did anybody get a chance? I'm just going to ask Stunlock. It's good to see you. But I'll just take a moment and ask, did anybody get a chance to listen to the podcast that I did? Because if so, I would always hugely appreciate some feedback on that one. I think parts of it went well. Parts of it could be improved. But it was my first time ever trying a podcast, so I kind of expected that. But if anybody does get the chance to hear my audition for the Turn 1 Thoughtseize podcast, I'd love to hear it. So, we have got a Blighted Agent in play, Chance reanimating it to go down to 12, and Chance has decided that he wants to be the Reanimator player. Or the Infect player. So Chance with this Blighted Agent. Oh, this is going to be delightful. Isn't it? Entomb from Chance. So an Entomb to kick things off. And does John even have an answer to this? I don't think so. I think John needs to just draw a faster clock. But in the meantime... Oh, man. Who can do it? Okay. Oh, goodness. It's funny, but a waste of resources unless he has another reanimate spell. I'm certain that he does. Go for the Elesh Norn and please get the super infect kill. Go for the Elesh Norn. First of all, go for the Elesh Norn anyway. But second of all, go for the Elesh Norn. Go for it. Go for the Elesh Norn. Bring it back. Boring. Don't do that. Go for the Elesh Norn and then attack for 3 with your Blighted Agent. His Blighted Agent. Attack with his Blighted Agent for lethal. How is that not the most exciting thing you've ever heard? We're just going to go for a Sigh of Insanity and fall down to 6. Boring. Boring, boring. But also pretty sweet. And then we're going to hit with a... God. But I love Sigh of Insanity. Elesh Norn is legendary, though. Yeah, you're right, Batusai. You're right. You're right. You're so right now. So we're just going to go for the Sigh of Insanity. John is going to go for a fetch. And... I like it. Berman. You have a fun name to say. I'm not sure if that's your real name or just your online persona. But, regardless, you either chose or someone chose for you extremely well. And we've got a Glistener Elf. We can set up the top draws, which when you have no hand, putting cards on top suddenly looks kind of good. So we've got an Ink Moth, and we've got our own Blighted Agent, and Invigorate, and a Glistener Elf. So what we could do from John's side of the field is drop in the Blighted, ooh, so we want the Glistener Elf, not the Blighted Agent. Interesting. Maybe looking to set up a turn where he blocks with the Glistener Elf and then invigorates it to have it trade away with that Sire of Insanity. But we're going to go for a pretty decently sized swing, go up to 2 poison, and I think fall down to 12. And we're going to discard a Chancellor of the Annex, play a Glistener Elf, and now we are in a risky situation. Collective Brutality from Chance. -2, -2. Bash down to 6, and I think this game is done. Oh, man. So Chance takes it in 2, and we're going to head up to the booth and try and find ourselves another feature match. I will see you up there. Hello and thank you for joining. My name is TJ. It's a pleasure having you here. This is the Geek Fortress stream, and my green screen is a little bit temperamental today, and now I've got to get that fixed because it's going to bother me if I don't. But that's okay. That's alright. We're just going to keep on having fun things happen anyway. Oh, that was a brutal Collective Brutality, however. Wish that he had won with Infect. I do too. We can pretend like he did. He probably would have held back the Sire of Insanity and attacked for 7 turns with that Blighted Agent, and it would have been glorious and awesome. So let's just assume that is how it went down. That's what I'm excited about. But my name's TJ, this is the Geek Fortress stream, and if you haven't yet, be sure to hit that follow button. It looks like a heart and it feels like a heart. Thank you for the support. Thanks for being awesome, and we're going to keep on going. We've got 4 rounds of that Legacy action tonight, and we're in the middle of round 1. My goodness gracious, I missed the beard already. I'm going to have to grow that one back. But until then, maybe there's another feature match to be seen. I'm going to pop my head out the door and see if Coleman is nearby so I can shout at him. Hey, James. Hey, James. Could you do me a favor? Could you keep an eye out for a possible other backup match for this round?
Yeah.
I would appreciate that so very much. James is such a good guy. Thanks, James. Wherever you are, right out there, probably right there. Thank you for being who you are and doing what you do. But I am excited about tonight. Legacy is so exciting. But also, on top of all that, tomorrow, a Super Slammin' Saturday festivities. Legacy, GPT, spell it out in your mind. It's only 3 letters, but I'll tell you what, let's expand a little bit on that. Grand Prix Trial tomorrow. Legacy is the format here at noon Pacific time. Will it be streamed? Yes, it will be, and that's why I'm telling you. But hey, if you're in the area, if you feel like you're going to go to GP Las Vegas, then maybe you should just show up, jam a bit, maybe end up on camera. But if you're not here, then tune in, watch myself and Coleman, the Cole Maniac, providing our thoughts, adding in our festivities and watching some of that super sweet Legacy action as the players battle for the fights. Ooh, we've got a knock on the door.
Alright, you have a match. Ryan on Storm versus Reanimator.
That sounds delightful.
Um,
Against Josh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You got the new boom mic.
Yeah, we did.
So am I on stream right now?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, they can hear you.
Oh, they can hear me.
Yeah.
Okay. So how's the boom mic?
Oh, I enjoy it. It's
Can
pretty
the internet
nice.
hear me well now?
Yo, yeah, they can hear you great. I bet
Okay.
they love it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Alright.
Thanks, James. Hey, Josh, what game? 3? Thank you. All right, so we are heading down to game 3. And let's just keep the Sire of Insanity as that indicator. And for Storm, let's go with... Ooh, I know which one we should go with. All right, everybody. I will see you down there. It's time for a game 3. Storm versus Reanimator. All right, and these players are lining up and getting ready to go. And from Josh, we're going to kick things off with a Scalding Tarn into a Hapless Researcher. This is the Chase Hansen special. Okay, let's see. So, we've got a Careful Study in hand. We have gotten Izzet, Charm, and a Force of Will, along with 2 of those swamps. Hapless Researcher on the field. Going to be trying to go for the old 1-1 beatdown. This is an innovation, to my knowledge, that comes from Stryfo himself, Chase Hansen, the Reanimator Master. That's true. Let's just do the actual card that gets reanimated in this one. There we go. So, we have got a Jin-Gitaxias in the graveyard. I believe the deck also runs the Arc-Pig, the Arc-type of Endurance. Overall, this deck is just gloriously cool and has the ability to Force of Will as well. And it looks like we are trying to cast a card that will make it so that Josh cannot cast those ones. Interesting. So this is the Xantid Swarm. Let's go ahead and bring up that one, though it is going to be... Oh, we actually may have... Okay. So the Xantid Swarm, green for a 0-1 flying, that whenever it attacks, the defending player can't cast spells this turn. A card hand-tailored to Storm, essentially, to keep them from being able to cast counter spells. And Josh is going to need to find an answer. We've got an attack for 1. We're going to fall down to 15 on Ryan's side of the field. And Josh needs to find an answer to this Xantid Swarm. Likely could you end up using this, or we're going to Exhume with a Surgical in response, and an Izzet Charm making him pay 2 in response to that. Whew. Now it is going to be close. If Ryan does not have the win in hand, he is going to be out of luck. A Jin-Gitaxias from Josh could spell just straight up doom for Ryan. As he draws 7 cards, still has a mana available, but also Ryan going to be very short on resources. He looks to have some of these cards, but if he doesn't have the exact combination that wins the game on the spot, then Ryan may just be in for a loss, as he will have to discard his entire hand. Looks like we do not currently have an answer to the Xantid Swarm, however. So the Xantid Swarm does mean that Ryan will have a chance without disruption to go for it. This is actually going to be really curious if Ryan can pull this out. I think it's do or die for Ryan. And I kind of hope that he does. Though Jin-Gitaxias is pretty great. We are going to sacrifice this in response, and we are going to discard the Archetype of Endurance, attack for 0, cast a Brainstorm, storm count 1. We're going to have to put 2 of these cards back. We do have the Past in Flames in hand right now. We might end up putting... Ooh, we're keeping that one right at the moment. Going for a fetch. We're going to fall down to 12, shuffling those cards away. Not 100% sure of all the cards in Ryan's hand, but he is going to be trying for it. So storm count currently 1. We are going for a Volcanic Island. At the moment, can we make it happen? We are going to go with a Ponder. Okay, so fires off a Ponder, takes a look, looking for something. We do have another land in hand to start casting some of these spells. But what? Do it maybe Rituals? Are Rituals what we're short on right now? We might be shy on the Rituals at the moment. Not actually 100% sure. I do see an Infernal Tutor, a land, a Past in Flames, a Lotus Petal, but I can't quite tell what the last card in Ryan's hand is. Could be anything. Could be nothing. It's a mystery right now, and we are going to get to find out together. Maybe a Dark Petition? I don't know. we do have a Dark Ritual out. That Lotus Petal allows us to cast the Past in Flames, but that doesn't. But we aren't actually able to cast anything. We're gonna go for an Infernal Tutor, trying to find another ritual. And I think we might be out of mana. Yep, okay, we're gonna discard. So Ryan, setting up the Past in Flames win. So Ryan discards this, sets up another ritual in graveyard along with that Dark Petition and the Infernal Tutor, so that if Ryan is able to flash back this Past in Flames, then he can get close to a win. The Izzet Charm takes down the Xantid Swarm, and Josh attacks in. It's a small attack, and Ryan's got a little bit of time to try and make something happen. But remember, Josh sitting on a couple of Force of Will, just one at the moment, is going to make that tricky. Really, he could probably almost just reveal the Force of Will to Ryan, saying, I'm going to counter your Past in Flames if you flash it back. Ryan might just pick up the cards right now, but Spammy, it's good to see you. How are you doing? I hope all is well. Iona comes in, and we are going to name... Thank you. And we're going to name Black, and Ryan is going to pick up the cards. Josh takes it down with an Iona, joining the Jin-Gitaxias, refilling his hand with another 7 cards, and Ryan sitting in top deck mode. No good for Ryan. Josh takes it down, and we are going to try and find another feature match for round 1, but otherwise we will be getting ready, getting set, and getting ready to go into... Man, that didn't work out. I said ready twice. Into round 3, but let's boost our way up to the booth. See you there. Hello everybody, thank you for joining. My name's TJ, this is the Geek Fortress stream, and we are doing some Legacy tonight. We've got 4 rounds of it right now, and it is going to be awesome and exciting and exhilarating in general. But if you haven't heard yet, be sure to check it out tomorrow as well, because at noon Pacific time, it's currently 8:11 p.m. I will be here with the Colmaniac beside me doing a Legacy GPT. I'm excited. You should be excited because it is the second to last GPT ever. That fact isn't exciting, but what is exciting is that it's Legacy. And the last one, also Legacy. Stay tuned with your eyes, your ears, all those things to find out when that one will be as well. I'm excited about it. There's so many cool things coming down the pipeline. We have got Vintage in the future. We are looking at doing another 1K. We have got a PPTQ coming up. All these things are going to be fantastically cool, and this is in addition to the streams that we do every Wednesday, every Friday, and every Saturday. Wow! We're just throwing streams out into the wind. I love it. I absolutely love it, and let's keep on doing it. So if you haven't hit it yet, hit that follow button. If you haven't considered it yet, consider that sub button. Granted, that one does have a bit of a monetary mark on it, but it may be worth it to you, and it definitely is worth it to us if you do decide to support the stream. Other than that, you can always just join us here anytime that we're live, and that means the world to us as well. You can even go to geekfortressgames.com to buy any of those singles or supplies that you may need if you want to help support this store doing its thing. Because all of those things matter, much like many pebbles can create a castle if you are patient. So can many people make this into the incredible stream that it is, and that is largely because of all of your support. TJ trying so hard. Z Magic, thank you so much for the host. I appreciate it. I hope your stream was great. And welcome everybody to the Geek Fortress stream. We're going to see if we can get something else going, but otherwise we have got some Legacy coming your way. The Joker, it is good to see you. I hope you are enjoying your day, and I'm assuming that you're from Arizona based on the final letters of that. What's up, QWERTY Pie? How are you doing? I hope that your keyboard is in fact a QWERTY one and not like one of those old flip phones ones. DJ trying so hard to sell something? Oh, no, I'm not trying too hard. It's just kind of fun for me. It's kind of fun. But to anybody who did just join, there's a follow button. Hey, there's a sub button. And there's Legacy tonight and Legacy GPT tomorrow during the day. Z Magic, 100 cheers with a face that says, I'm excited! I love it. You're amazing, and I appreciate the support. Each one of those cheers represents 1 cent, and you sent 100 of them. I love it. It's amazing. Thank you for the support. Woo! Dvorak, actually. Hopefully. Oh, well, that's funny. I guess that one doesn't. Dvorak probably isn't as catchy.
Round 2 available.
Okay. What? You have a round 2?
I have a round 2.
Oh my goodness.
I have the bye in round 2.
Really?
Yeah, I keep playing this person at every tournament. I'm undefeated against them.
That's a shame.
Yeah, I know. I think they're really under the radar.
All right, so tell me a little bit about what we've got.
You've got... Yeah. You've
Got-
got Dylan on the wall.
Do you mean Dylan facing?
Yes. That's
Okay.
what I meant. And you've got Steven on the other side.
Ooh, I did see that he was on Rug Delver.
Yep. Steven is on... I don't know how to describe this deck, so I'm going to
Call
call
it
it...
gambling. Just call it 1 in 50. 1 in 60 gambling. 1 in 60 gambling.
1 in 53.
1 in 50.
It is 4-color. It is non-blue control.
Why is it 153?
Because he's playing an Emrakul with his Dark Confidant. That's 1 in 53.
And it's non-blue control?
It's non-blue control.
Okay.
We built this deck about 2 seconds before the tournament started.
I'm so excited about I'm going to make Emrakul.
Last game, there was an Emrakul with a sword on it.
Why?
You need to deal 17 damage, not 15. Actually, no, he did deal the full 20 because he got the 2 damage off Sword of Fire and Ice. This deck is a delight.
Okay, that's fantastic. All right, thank you so much. An Emrakul along with a Dark Confidant. Greatness at any cost. Oh, my goodness. Legacy Goblins, how are you doing? It's good to see you. Let's head on down. It's time for round 2. I'm excited to see what we got there. So a non-blue control running Dark Confidant and Emrakul, the Aeon Storm. No, it is a 1 of Emrakul. The original deck name that they requested was the 1 in 50 chance. Or the 1 in 53 chance. So the Dark Confidant is in this hand. Oh, please play the Dark Confidant. I want to see this happen. I want to feel the exhilaration. So this deck was built about 20 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever before the event started. So Steven basically testing it for the first time here, and Dylan on the time-tested Rug Delver, oftentimes called the Canadian Threshold. It looks like Delver is just going to play its namesake at the moment. And we do a Vindicate in this. So Wasteland that, and then take the land, play a Hymn to Turok. And we are going to hymn Dylan. This is a brutal intro for Steven. It seems like Delver always loses to the most random things. Like, it's always really aces against, like, the top decks, but then just against the most random things in the format, it'll just... so we're taking out a Misty Rainforest and a Brainstorm, and that might have been our mana base. I think we have a Wasteland in hand. Dylan going with the optional reveal. Alright, Steven, you better cast this Dark Confidant next turn. And we're going to attack for 1. I don't believe we have another mana. A Wasteland, I think, is in hand, but Steven not playing a non-basic just yet. Oh, yes. Dark Confidant. Eat a land, and also play Dark Confidant. Live the dream for me. Yes! Yes, yes, yes. Dark Confidant. At the beginning of each upkeep, reveal the top card of your library. You take damage equal to its converted mana cost, and then put it in your hand. Steven? No, this is a Steven, not a Steven. Okay. So some Storm decks have been playing a bunch of Bifrost in their sideboard. What would that be for? It gets around Chalice. Would be my assumption. It's sometimes just a Shatter, and otherwise it gets around like a lot of other stuff. Ooh, yeah, Trinisphere as well. Good call. So another Delver joining it. None of these transforming yet. Oh, goodness. So we are going to get some reveals. Please, please let me see an Emrakul tonight. Let me see an Emrakul dome someone for 15 off of a reveal. No, but that's a Batterskull. We're down to 13. And already, please play the other Dark Confidant. Play it. You've got also a Kolaghan's Command. This deck is amazing. And we're starting to draw. Oh, man. What's up, Volrathi? It's good to see ya. Come on, show me the other Dark Confidant and a Jite. No, wait, we don't have the other land. Just go for the Dark Confidant. You could also go for the Kolaghan's Command to just take down a Delver, I suppose, but that's boring talk. That's boring talk, and we don't want it. Oh, come on, Steven. You can do it. Otherwise, we could just go for the Kolaghan's Command. We could also go for the Vindicate on the land. We could go Vindicate on the land and then drop down the Jite to put onto this Dark Confidant. Because if the Jite gets a hit in, then it's just going to obliterate this deck. Unless Dylan finds a Nimble Mongoose. But if he doesn't have mana, then it's unlikely that he'll find a Nimble Mongoose. Yeah, probably just Vindicate, though. I might Vindicate the land. That sounds super fun to me. I don't know, but Steven's got some thinking to do, running through the various lines that he has available to him. Essentially, Vindicate, we've also got Dark Confidant, and we've also got Umezawa's Jite. Looks like we are deciding on the Vindicate? No, it's the Jite. We're going to drop this in, and Dylan needs an answer to it. And we're going to pass the turn. Still no reveal for the Delvers here. You try and play around Daze as much as possible. That's fair. That's a good point, Coleman. So a Ponder from Dylan, and we're going to try and dig our way into... If we do like the top cards, nope, we are going to shuffle it up. If the top cards were good, we could have set up a Delver. Transform with this Dark Confidant out, and what we've seen in the deck so far, there are a lot of cards that put Steven within a kill range of these Dark Confidants. Or, I'm sorry, of these Insectile Aberrations. Needs to be extremely cautious about this Umezawa's Jite, however. If Dylan doesn't end up with an answer to that, he is going to be hurting. And I think that was a Volcanic Island. Oh no, it was a Pluto Delta coming down and passing back. And we hit a Marsh Flats. No damage off of that, and we draw into a Wasteland. So we could end up wastelanding Dylan's Tropical Island, or waiting to see what he plays. It also does mean that we now have 4 mana. By non-blue, do you mean Dead Guy Ale? I was under the impression that Dead Guy Ale was a purely black-white deck. I could be incorrect on that, though. Some of these legacy nicknames still elude me, and I'm trying to learn them as I can, but sometimes they don't come up until, they've come up. So Umezawa's Jite, attack for 2. We've got a fetch into a Lightning Bolt, and the Dark Confidant falls. We're going for that, and we are going to Wasteland that. We do still have a Dark Confidant out, not much to do with it, however. And Dylan does get a chance to transform these and put Steven down to 17. Which might be the best chance that he has. Time will tell. Sometimes a hint of green for Deathratch Shaman. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I'm not sure if I would call this Dead Guy Ale. I think that Dead Guy Ale tends to be like a Lingering Souls deck. But I honestly, I guess, I only know like the old school term of Dead Guy Ale, so I could be totally off base with this. The Emrakul makes you think Nahiri. Maybe there is a Nahiri in here. Nimble Mongoose joining the field. That one quite resilient to this Umezawa's GT. And Dylan, without another mana available, means that we could see now actually can't really utilize the GT this turn because the Wasteland took down Steven's third mana. Okay, so Emrakul is not in Dead Gale. Okay, cool. So I'm assuming that this is 4-color control that they put together 20 minutes beforehand and didn't really have an archetype based around it. They just thought to themselves, why not this? And eventually they came to the idea that Dark Confidant and Emrakul would somehow work together. Here he is in the deck, however. It makes sense. Can't believe he put a sword onto an Emrakul in the last game. A GT on an Emrakul just sounds hilarious. I am in favor right now. Ooh, I don't know. Attacking means the Nimble Mongoose is in a pretty rough spot. Okay, Steven decides that he is just straight up dead, and Dylan takes game 1. So we're going to see a scoop there. And we're going to head into the sideboard. It looks like from the one hand, we've got a variety of cards getting ready to come in from Steven's deck. Dylan taking a little bit more time on his. But I think that is 5 to 6 cards coming in. Huh. Either way, actually Dylan seems to have a couple of tools for this as well. So I'm curious to see what we end up with. Steven still on a particularly cool... You just saw the board with Dark Confidant having Yep. Yep, there is an Emrakul in the deck. The name that they originally gave me was the the 1 in 53 risk or something like that. The 1 in 53 chance. Though I guess if you're playing a Dark Confidant, we'll call it the 1 in 50 shot. You've got a 1 in 50 shot of just straight losing. But you also have a 49 out of 50 chance of value. So that seems like good odds to me. I would take that any day of the week. Because you gotta play like, what, 25 games for that to suddenly matter? Pfft, whatever. That's more games than they're in a GP. Do you have more collective brutalities in the sideboard? That sounds pretty good. Does Steven have any answer whatsoever to Nimble Mongoose? So I'm guessing Toxic Deluge is in the deck. And actually, Toxic Deluge and possibly some Golgari Charm. I wouldn't be surprised, especially if Coleman was involved in building this. I wouldn't be surprised if Golgari Charm worked its way into the list as a way to give -1/-1 to the board. And also destroy enchantments, which, when you're a 4-color deck with no access to counterspells, Blood Moon looks like a problem. That'd be a good one. That'd be a good one. Tells me that it's not actually in there. Alright, let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. Hello to everybody. Thank you so much for joining. There's 85 of you, and I hope that you all are going to be joining us tomorrow for our Legacy GPT in addition to tonight's Legacy Extravaganza. I know that the Pro Tour is also happening, but there's always exciting Magic to be happening, and here at Geek Fortress we are providing to make the coolest of them. Just saying. The Emrakul is out. Boring. Emrakul should always be in the deck. That's just a fact. Okay. What's up, Doro? It's good to see ya. Doro, could you do me a favor? I know that you... feel free to say no. Feel free to say no. I'm not going to be hurt if you say no. But if you're totally free and have a time for a favor, I have a request. Also, tell your friends. Tell your friends about the stream that will be happening tomorrow. It'll be Coleman and I. Where is the GPT? It is a Legacy GPT tomorrow. What's up, Weston? It's good to see you. You're still breathing. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that you're doing well, and I look forward to seeing you more in the future. Tell me, how have you been? Where is the... So the GPT is here at Geek Fortress, located in Snohomish, Washington. Myself and the Cole Maniac will be providing commentary. But there's a Nissa Steward of Elements in play. Ooh, there are some cool decks in the field today. I'm excited about that. Saw King Arthur earlier. It was awesome. That does sound awesome. Was there a new movie out called King Arthur? I don't really pay attention to new movies. So if there is, let me know. Because then I probably won't go to see it. Oh, does it say GP tomorrow? That's my bad. Fixed. Fixed. Thank you. That was just a typo by me. It starts at noon Pacific time. You found out that you're working 13 unpaid hours on Mother's Day, so you invited your mom to come visit you at work. That would be nice if she's able to. That sounds lovely. All good. Hey, I'm glad it's all good. And I hope to see you tomorrow. I'm excited to do the streaming for it. Any storm tonight? Yes, we in fact have had it on camera. It's King Arthur, Legend of the Sword, and yes, it is new. Oh, that's cool. I dig it. I dig it. Working unpaid hours, I'm guessing either salary or own business or potentially contract. Like, just contract to where basically you're paid for the job and it's taken longer than expected. Anyone playing Imperial Painter? I'm not sure if that is true. I'm not sure how many people are playing that without top. I'm sure that some people are, but I don't know if they're in the field tonight. Volcanic Island coming in, and we have a Delver of Secrets on the battlefield, joining that Dark Confidant off of a marsh flat. Steven with a Hymn to Turok could be firing that one off this turn, and that maybe a Thoughtseize into a Hymn to Turok sounds incredible. Then you either get that forced, or you just take out the, okay, your salary. Gotcha. Sulfuric Vortex, Tarmogoyf, Spell Pierce, Brainstorm. If I am about to Hymn to Turok someone, I'm probably going to take the Brainstorm so that they can't refill their hand. You're building it right now? Really don't think it's that bad without top? I think that's reasonable. I mean, the deck probably didn't rely on it too much before. Maybe you could even get away with something like Scroll Rack. I'm not sure if that's reasonable or not, but you could maybe get away with it. I'd have to think on it. But I think I would take the Brainstorm out of this hand, because my intent is to strip the hand of resources and then Hymn to Turok it. And I think that a hand with land Spell Pierce is not too threatening. Land Tarmogoyf, not too threatening. Land, when I have like Terminates and Vindicates. Land Sulfuric Vortex means that you need more spells to be drawn. You can, like, Sulfuric Vortex, Tarmogoyf, but with only one land is pretty good. I don't know. I think I'm okay with most of these things. The Brainstorm fixes this hand. I would make sure that that one is gone. I think with the Welder top was just over the top. Well, now Legacy is over the top. Other considerations? Right now, Tarmogoyf and Sulfuric Vortex are the only threats. Maybe you want to take those. I don't know. I think I bruised my back. I need to give it a better chair at home. I need to get like a proper streaming chair for at home. If you have any recommendations, tweet them to me at RedBaronMTG. I need to find a place that has good, reasonable streaming chairs. So, we are going to take the Brainstorm. I think that is the correct play. And then we're going to take out a land, and we are going to... Oh, we just have swords we did not have. You would recommend a dining chair. Nah, I'm looking for like a full-on chair. The full thing. I've been using like an old computer chair, and it is killing my back when I'm doing these like between 4 to 8 hour streams. Get an Aaron, write it off as a business. No, here I'm fine. This would be for at home. I'm also nice, Weston. That's funny. I'm also just looking. Man, maybe I can try and get. You recommend a good chair. Thank you, Dark Mage Walt. I appreciate that. Get an Aeron. A-E-R-O-N. Alright. Thank you. I will look into that. Let's see here. Let's see here. Sorry, just replying to one of my mods. There we go, we good. Beanbags are heaps comfy. Not when I'm pedaling at the same time. I'll be pedaling because I've got that new desk cycle. So, we've got a Delver of Secrets and a Tarmogoyf out. We're at a 3 for Tarmogoyf. Decent clock. Dylan fetching to go down to 20. And Steven falling down to 17. We do draw the Batterskull. We've got a lot of tools, but very little mana. One land still in the graveyard. Another one on the battlefield, which will be going there. And this looks like a Collective Brutality to kill the Delver of Secrets and take a card out of the hand, is what I assume that I'll be seeing. The trick is that whatever you discard, if it's going to be an artifact, you are actually going to be taking 4 damage next turn. So you do need to be aware of that and have an answer. But the Swords to Plowshares in this hand probably means it's safe. Standing desks are all the rage. If I can get one, I likely will, actually. But that also costs money. The longest word in the dictionary is dictionary. The is only 3 letters. Oh, it's smiles. There's a mile between the S's. Okay, that's funny too. That's way better than my answer. There's a mile between the S's. That's funny. Okay. Yours is better. Yours is better. We have got an attack in for okay, and we're gonna go down to 13. And we're actually gonna be down to 11. Scratch that. Swords to Plowshares on that, but the Sulfuric. So you may have just double swordged the 2 creatures that were threatening you, but you're now down to 11 and just gave Dylan. Oh no, I guess you didn't give any life because there's a Sulfuric Vortex up. So we're down to 17, down to 9, and we were just winning purely off of having a higher life total when this started. Can't gain life. Swords looks real good except for the fact that you're dead. So that's bad. Is that a Lingering Souls? It is a Lingering Souls. So we're down to 15. Woo. Okay. It's an attack for 2. We're down to 7, which will be down to 5. We're going to eat that, and we're going to go for the Drain Life mode on this. Trying to break even on it, that does not seem like a winning battle. But you don't have the green mana to start gaining the life. So Steven is dead pretty soon here. Only has 2 mana. Can put out another Dark Confidant off of his own. Actually, no, there's no more lands. Steven, I think, just lost. Without any green mana, that is going to be very tricky. Weston, I extremely doubt. I expect to see that on r/that happened, which is an entire subreddit based around things that likely didn't happen. It's a confusing title. So we've got another Dark Confidant coming down to the field. Probably just looking to block with it. Yep. Blocking away with the Summoning Sick 1. And we're going to pass it back. We're down to 3. Do we have a Lightning Bolt in hand? Yes, we do. And we are going to try to, yeah, okay. I'm not sure what just happened there. But Dylan takes the win with a Lightning Bolt at Steven. Deathrite Shaman? Did I say the... Oh, was I saying Dark Confidant? My bad. Sorry, I've got Dark Confidant Emrakul on the mind. Those were our Deathrite Shamans. I just realized I might have been saying the wrong word. My bad. My bad. My bad. Okay, so Dylan taking that game in. 2. Sulfuric Vortex. Looks to be Rough and Tumble, Crows and Grip, Dismember, and Vendilion Click all coming in. Let's head on up to the booth, see if maybe there's another feature match to be coming in. Ancient Grudge as well, and a Pithing Needle. My goodness, Dylan's sideboard was stacked. We will see you up there. Huh. Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining. My name's TJ, it's a pleasure to have you here. I'm missing my beard, but that is okay because it's Legacy time here at Geek Fortress, located in Snohomish, Washington. Let's see here. My friend Sam condescending. That means it's when you talk down to other people. Yeah, I dig that one. It's pretty fun. You gotta be in the right setting for it, but it's a good one. So, Rug Delver taking down the 4-color control, running Emrakul and Dark Confidant in 2. Unfortunate, I was hoping to see the Emrakul be particularly punishing. But that's the way that it goes sometimes, and we're going to try and find another feature match for you here at Geek Fortress. We're going to open this door, we're going to look Coleman deeply in the eyes, and we're going to see if he has another feature match for us. Thank you. Nice. Totally a true story. Our AC was broken. I dig it. Alright. So, get some extra Z's before the GPT tomorrow? Do you mean me? No, unlikely. Unlikely. I'm gonna do this for 4 rounds and then I'm gonna go home. And then I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna start streaming at noon Pacific time. We're gonna have a Legacy GPT. It's gonna be myself and the Cole Maniac. And then after that, it's going to be the state of Texas. Not really, it's going to be the guy named Texas with me for our Modern event, which means that I will be in here probably doing about 11 hours of streaming over the course of the day. If you are looking for something to do tomorrow and you think, gosh, I love Twitch streams, man, I am entertained by that Geek Fortress bunch. They're a great group and I love being a part of their community. I've got good news for you. Tomorrow is going to be a community extravaganza, basically a block party of Legacy and Modern. Sorry I shaved too much and had to shave off my beard. On the same token, you're happy to know that you're not the only one who does that. I know, I was trimming it and I was like, oh no, I messed up. So it just had to all go. I really thought about getting rid of this, but I'll be using my sword to keep the chat calm. Well, at least get some caffeine, but caffeine doesn't really do much for me. I drink it because it's delicious, but caffeine for me is kind of like me. A quote. Ooh, a quote. I'm not sure what that quote was for. Whatever. Okay, I'm excited. Man, we need to get that second computer, but otherwise it's going to be a great day. Tomorrow, Legacy. Tonight, Legacy. We're in round 2 of 4. And it should be fun. What is that quote even of? I don't even know. Enchanting Poor Eel. T-Tours. Oh, huh. What a world that we have. What a world that we have. I do love the clips. Like, I love the names that they make up for it.
Every match is currently in game 3. Sorry. I could play an exhibition game against Dylan with this deck.
You've done a wonderful job at what you tried to do when you set out with a purpose and you came back and reported nicely. Thank you for your efforts.
You're welcome. I could see if Dylan wants to play an exhibition match. It'd be the same matchup.
If he's interested, I'm interested.
Okay, any reason you're going with the grumpy cat face?
I don't know, I didn't get what I wanted.
Fair enough.
I figure, I don't know, like,
Oh,
it works for like 5-year-olds.
Well, today I learned TJ is a 5-year-old.
I mean, if I ask you again, it might change. Okay. Do I have ADHD? Because then caffeine won't work the same for you. Try ginseng. Completely, I mean, I'm not diagnosed with ADHD. I don't think I have ADHD. I'm able to focus when it's something that, like, I'm interested in. So, when I want to focus on it. So I don't think I do, but I'm certainly not diagnosed with it, so I don't act like I
Alright,
am.
well, I will be on the wall.
What?
And it'll actually be Kevin, not Dylan. So it'll be against Burn, which is probably worse.
Oh, for that deck? It's the 4-color one?
Okay, well, I'm gonna hope he doesn't have price spoilers.
You can hope. Are you gonna hope he has 7 lands in hand? Alright, let's get an exhibition match of this. A 4-color, non-blue control against Kevin on Burn. Let's say some exhibition magic. We'll see you down there. Okay, I'm going to give them a hearty thumbs up. Please note that this is a hearty thumbs up.
I will note that. I didn't know we were playing Hearthstone.
What?
Hardy. Hearthstone. Hearthstone.
Boo!
That's how you know.
I'm pretty sure the best way to describe TJ is to say he's like a puppy. He gets excited if you even look at him. What? Did someone say my name? Well, I don't know. I'm going to take that as a compliment, but I don't think that that's entirely wrong. I do get excited about what I'm a part of, and I love doing this. So I will take that as a compliment. Yes, TJ can sometimes be very puppy-like. It's because everybody loves me, which comes across completely wrong. So as a quick note, I don't assume that. As a quick note, it is a compliment. Thank you. That's so nice of you to say. A Wooded Foothills from Kevin, firing off. Coleman sitting with a Goblin Guide. Going in, Coleman's got that Bloodstained Mire with a Thoughtseize on top, taking 2 to not take 3, but you also got to spend your own mana for it. And a Basharoo coming in hot. So we're going to be down to 17 as we also go for this fetch, as Kevin falls down to 19 to just bash in with some, frankly... Quick note, your mountains are gorgeous. Your mountains are gorgeous.
Oh, thanks, man.
You're welcome. Okay, just an important note. Anyone else have frequent mana flood with Bant Eldrazi? It does happen. The deck is not the most consistent, but it's also extremely good. But the trade-off is that it occasionally does happen. Him to Turok coming on down against this Burn deck. That's actually a pretty good spell to be casting. And we are going to take down 1. We're going to take down 2 of these Burn spells. An Eidolon and a Lava Spike. That may win the game. That may win the game, actually. Though Coleman's got a Dark Confidant and a Thoughtseize in hand. A Lightning Bolt there. We're going to fall down to 15. Not being able to protect this Goblin Guide is going to be difficult for Kevin. Because if that had gone on... Oh, wait, no. Coleman doesn't have red mana yet. Oh, please. Just get domed for 15. Just get domed for 15. Oh, that is a price of progress if ever I saw. No, that's a Searing Blaze. Hit for 5. We're going to be falling down to 10. And Coleman continuing to have brilliant cards in hand. Did I see the Legacy Scred deck? I did not. I did not. That sounds sweet, though. So we've got a Nahiri and Abrupt Decay in hand. We're drawing into a Fatal Push. Killing Liliana. Able to pull out... all these cards in the graveyard. Kevin falling down to 18. Looking to just empty this hand, I think, as Coleman just goes with some cool Lily value. Minusing to kill the Goblin Guide. Plussing it up. Pitching the Lightning Bolt as Kevin gets rid of a mountain. And then goes for a fetch. And has... Is that a Arid Mesa? Is this... Oh my goodness. Kevin has nothing but land in hand. Oh my goodness. That is brutal. On the bright side, he did have a Barbarian Ring, so with Threshold, he was able to activate it and deal 2 damage to the Liliana as Coleman goes for a Hymn to Turok. Lava Spike off the top, Coleman falls down to 7. Now Coleman just needs to find a way to win. Deathrite Shaman is an incredibly good way to do that, actually. That's going to be brutal. And an Arid Mesa. Okay, so Coleman's going to be untapping. Are there any creatures? There is 1. So that goblin... Oh, no, there's 2. There's also the Eidolon of the Great Revel. So Coleman is actually closer to 11 life right now. And Coleman gets a Sword of Feast and Famine, which allows him to untap his lands and create... and have Kevin, I think, discard a card. What is this deck? I have that sword. I have that expedition. Yep. What is this deck? Oh my goodness. That is crazy. So, we're going to go down to 9. Sorry, up to 9. We're going to go up to 9 for Coleman with this Deathrite Shaman. And he has to decide between hitting for 3 or just continuing to gain life against this deck. Personally, I'm in favor of continuing to gain life. But that's just a personal opinion. I'm not an expert. Could just equip it up and start bashing. Oh, no, because you can't float between multiple turns. Oh, wait, I just play the Batterskull. Never mind. Why not just cast the Batterskull and win? You have a Deathrite Shaman and 4 lands. What an unusual choice. It's even pre-boards. There's no, like, Smash to Smithereens. Unless Kevin is main decking Smash to Smithereens. A Fire Blast from Kevin puts Coleman down to 5. Probably could have saved that a little bit longer since there was no actual cost to him doing that. Why are we not just casting Batterskull and winning? I like winning. And that's what Batterskull does. We're going to pitch the Fatal Push and draw into a Lingering Souls. A Lingering Souls. A Batterskull with a Sword of Feast and Famine sounds bonkers. I don't know. I'm perplexed. I am perplexed, and that's just where I'm at. Okay. I guess Umezawa's Jitte is also okay. A Lightning Bolt takes down. What's up, Josh? How's it going? I bet you're getting excited for the Legacy GPT tomorrow. And you know what? If you're gonna do it, Emrakul it. Oh, Emrakul a double equip? We're gonna double equip an Emrakul? We're gonna double equip an Emrakul. Why no Umezawa's Jitte?
I wanted to leave up Wasteland in case he had price in progress.
Good call. Oh, goodness. Goodness gracious. All right. Oh, I love exhibition matches. I love these exhibition matches. So, looks like Coleman does take one against Burn of all decks, which should have a good matchup. But that Hymn to Turok, followed by Kevin drawing nothing but lands, was just brutal. But Josh, how you doing? I hope things are going well for you. I hope Seattle has been a pretty fresh place for you to live in, and I hope that the world continues to be your oyster, because you are certainly the pearl. I'm going to extend this statement to everyone else in a equally cheesy, but just as genuine sense. I should be the one playing Burn against Coleman. That would be sweet. Someday. Someday I will be on camera again, I'm certain. For High Tide, can side in more counter spells or search spells while nixing one of the High Tides. Oh, Lathier, what I've heard, and I heard this from Feline Longmore, is that every time you always side out a High Tide and side in a Blue Sun Zenith. That way, yes you can, Weston. That way, if they end up surgically, then if they surgical your wish, you still have access to, if they surgical your wish, you still have access to the Blue Sun Zenith. And if they exile your High Tides, or you surgical your High Tides, you can still wish for the last High Tide, which I think is pretty cool. Proxy tournament, we do allow 15 of them. 15 of them are allowed in our events. Our actual FNM is draft, which is happening tonight. One day I'll be back out in the field having some fun. Until then, I can tell you all about the exciting Legacy GPT that will be happening tomorrow. I see Sounds, it's good to see you. How are you? Thanks for stopping by my stream last night. Thanks for joining me here. It's a pleasure to have you here for some Legacy action. Are you not? This deck only has 2 Stoneforge Mystics in it. Kron, it's good to see ya. Oh man, this exhibition match is just delightful. Burn against non-blue control. Kevin coming up with a rough loss in game 1 as he hit about 7 lands. Coleman running a deck that runs like at least 4 equipments that we've seen, but only 2 Stoneforge Mystics. Interesting choice. Is the non-blue a Stoneblade deck? Well, it runs 2 Stoneforge Mystics, but mostly it's 4-color nonsense that they put together, I don't know, 5 to 20 minutes before the event. Okay. So, we've got a couple of lands for Coleman. And let's see what we can do. Alright, we've got a Goblin Guide to kick things off, and Coleman going for a trick shot, pitching that Battle Land away as we get a basic mountain in, and Coleman falls down to 18. We're going to draw in for our turn. We've got a Kolaghan's Command. We've got a lot of land in hand. A Price of Progress would be brutal here. And we're going to go for a 1-mana Dark Confidant, leaving up some white mana. And a chance of some Death and Taxes. Honestly, I couldn't tell you. Maybe, and if there is, we'll try and get it for you. Coleman's fully aware of how popular it is. But honestly, I have no idea what's in the field tonight. I know we have 4 rounds. I know we have Storm, Rug Delver, this Burn, non-blue Control, Black-Red Reanimator, as what, like the blue-black and black-red Reanimator, and Infect. Those are the decks that I do know about, because those are the ones that we've seen on stream. We're going to Lightning Bolt in response. We're going to go down to 15, or 13, sorry. 13. And we are going to go for a Hymn to Turok. One mana Dark Confidant. Dang it, I said it again. Deathrite Shaman. Deathrite Shaman is the... right there. And another Deathrite Shaman joining the field. 2 lands for Kevin after he loses that Ensnaring Bridge by the look of it, which is a funny way to stop Emrakul, I suppose. And we're going to take a look at that. Coleman continuing to hit off of every Goblin Guide trigger. Finds a Wasteland. Blocks the Goblin Guide with his Deathrite Shaman, which goes to the graveyard, and we have a Price of Progress, both in the main phase and kind of early. It's going to put him down to 9. But that card is an instant. I'm a little bit surprised that it didn't get fired off almost immediately. Just because of the amount of lands that Coleman has in hand, I would probably have waited, but that's okay. Coleman were to like tap out here, I would feel real good for something like a Nahiri, exile the Goblin Guide. Being able to then Price of Progress to Dome Coleman for 6 would be pretty solid. But we're going to untap, and we are going to draw, I believe I see another Ensnaring Bridge in hand. An attack for 2, finds a Swamp. That is the 4th hit in a row, and a Lightning Bolt gets cast on this Goblin Guide. Coleman remains at 9, fires off a Wooded Foothills, and we are cracking it already. Do I know if there is Black-Red that much better? Black-Red is good against Force of Will. The Blue-Black has got Force of Will itself, which is kind of a nice touch. And we're going to put down an Ensnaring Bridge for Kevin. So we are just looking to not get attacked. Now Coleman has got to go for the Life Drain win. It's a classic. Coleman is basically just going to try and activate this Deathray Shaman 8 times, is what I'm guessing. That sounds fun. Too bad that Batter Skull doesn't work with that. Man, how cool would that be? Giving lifelink to a Deathrite Shaman, but it's loss of life, not damage. And a Lingering Souls comes down for Coleman, who's just trying to put some creatures on the board. Plus, if Kevin ends up with a card in hand that is stuck for some reason, then he can start attacking in with him. It's at your feet. Other side. Other side. Oh, then possibly Dylan has it behind the counter. Or someone stole it. Okay. So, someone stole it. I mean, hey, it's possible. Techno Squirrel with the sub. That is our first sub of the night. Thank you so much for the support. I love it. I appreciate it. You're amazing. Thank you for letting us do what we do. Techno and squirrels are both things that I can appreciate, so it is incredibly kind of you to appreciate me back. We are going to be getting rid of this Fire Blast, doming Coleman to put him down to 5. We are going to go for a Kolaghan's Command, busting that, dealing 2, and then getting a swing in to knock it down to 12. Getting that clock rolling. Kevin with 2 lands available, hoping he doesn't find an Exquisite Firecraft, but against a non-blue deck it does seem unlikely. And Coleman, Moonsad 13 with another sub. That's 2 subs bringing us in today. Thank you so much. Bringing us up to 153 of our 175 goal. I appreciate it. You're great and you're amazing. And it sounds like the next round is coming up. So we're going to be heading into that one. And DA Town 24. Thank you so much for hitting that follow button. It's a pleasure having you here. I'm going to sneeze, and I want you to take this as a sneeze of welcoming. Maybe I won't. Okay, yep, I did sneeze. Thank you so much for being here. Let's head on up to the booth. Hello everybody, it's a pleasure having you here. My name is TJ, so you're here to listen, but you can't watch. Hey, that's okay, listening is enough. I certainly say a lot of stuff. You missed it, what happened? That was an exhibition match, and I believe that the next round has been posted. So they were just picking it up. They were just playing that between rounds. If the deck doesn't have Sears, Sundial, and Smokestack in it, you're not interested. As you shouldn't be. As you should not? I don't know. I hear ya. I hear ya. As you shouldn't be. I don't think I've ever heard it put that way before. Odd. But now seems like a great time to tell you all about how you can hit that follow button. Join us in the future. Every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday we stream Modern and Legacy. Plus, you can hit that sub button just like those other 2 amazingly generous people who let us do what we do and help us to do it. Plus, you can join us for an extra special bonus stream tomorrow at noon Pacific time. Currently, it's about 9 o'clock here, so it will be in about 15 hours. I'll be joined by the person to my left, the Maniac himself, for a Legacy GPT at noon Pacific time, beginning tomorrow. Yep. Should be fun, and then we've got a Modern weekly event following it, so I'll be here for about 11 hours.
Yep, I can confirm there will in fact be Fire Blast tomorrow.
Dig it.
Anyway, I've got you around 3.
Tell me more about it.
Well, Steven's going to continue to be on the wall.
Okay. You just like his deck most of all.
Well, it's because I built it.
He's been on there twice now, though.
Well, the other matches are super uninteresting. And you have Chris on the other side, who's playing.
He's on lands. He's
How
on
would you
lands.
describe your deck?
He's on lands.
Okay.
How many people am I expecting for Legacy tomorrow? Honestly, don't have a clue. That's Dylan's business. I don't work here.
Bug Dark Depths. This is the deck with Nissa.
Oh, so you just wanted the Nissa deck on.
I wanted the deck that plays the weirdest stuff possible. Also, I told you there was an Emrakul with a sword on it, and you didn't believe me. Gotcha.
It's true. Tingawire Trexa. Coleman! I just realized something. Hi. I just realized something. Coleman said he didn't equip the GT because he wanted to hold up Wasteland, but he had a sort of feast and famine. It would have just untapped the Wasteland. Righteous, it's good to see you. Thank you so much for joining. Let's head on down to the field and get ready for round 3. Alright, and these players getting ready. We're going to change the image here. So this is a Bug Dark Depths. So it's got to be like a lands deck that also is running Nissa as just a zeros to... Huh, that's a cool little art. Zeros to just get lands into play, which actually sounds kind of sweet because you're almost guaranteed hits. Okay. Time Night, I appreciate the feedback. It was fun doing that one. I've decided that since I just enjoyed it so much, like I enjoyed making a podcast, regardless of whatever happens, I'm probably going to make a podcast. Like if it's not that one, I'm going to make my own. It was way too much fun, so now I just want to make one. Should be fun. Should be fun. Podcasts, great. So then I can have a podcast, this stream, my home stream, and then what's next? Everything. Everything is next, and we're going to get there together, everybody. This is what I want to be doing, and we are going to chase it down. Actual fort report, please. On what? I don't know what ABTV radio is. I don't know what you're talking about. Let me know some other time. You're saying words that are confusing to me. We have got a fetch from Steven going down to 19 to kick things off. Will this deck be able to prevail against an entirely lands-based deck? Steven's deck seems pretty well poised to take down creatures, but I'm not so certain about that. Always bolt the bird. Ah, nice, nice. And then our logo, we can just take Randy Johnson's photography logo and make it the logo of the stream or of the podcast. By the way, look up Randy Johnson's photography logo. It's amazing. And we have got a Deathrite Shaman joining the battlefield off of a black-white land. But he ain't no scrub. Let's see. So, we have got a Polluted Delta on the battlefield for Chris. It is nice and shiny. A Wasteland joining for Steven. Not firing it off yet because hitting a Wasteland would, or hitting a Fetchland would be silly. Wasteland coming down on this, and we are going to stifle it. Passing it back to Steven. Feeling a little bit worse for the wear. Gonna fire that one off, and do we have another stifle? We do not. So Chris going down to one land, just this Polluted Delta. Chris does have his own Wasteland though. Dropping it down, deciding to save it. I actually kind of like this because if you put it in, it's just more things for the Deathrite Shaman to be able to activate off of. So we're going to do a little bit of life draining down to 18. Thoughtseize coming down against Chris, who has got at least a Force of Will in hand. We're going to now fetch, maybe trying to fire off a Brainstorm and hide some of these cards at the top. But this deck looks gorgeous. Look at that. That's a Judge promo Wasteland, I think it is. Plus we've got that pretty Polluted Delta. That is a gorgeous deck that Chris has. Okay. And it looks like it is going to be that is a beautiful brainstorm as well. Drawing in, we have a Jace the Mind Sculptor, a Crop Rotation, and an Abrupt Decay. The Abrupt Decay actually might be put just second from the top, so that he can draw that next turn, take down the Dark Confidant, and then Wasteland Steven's mana base, and put him a significant portion down on mana. You tell yourself you'd love to have a fully foiled out deck someday. I appreciate them, but they aren't for me. I prefer just playing a functional version of the deck. And we're going to put some cards on top. Oh, we are going to leave the Abrupt Decay in. Not worried about that. We've got double Force of Will. An Abrupt Decay. Crop Rotation, Garruk Relentless, and a Liliana. And that is a gorgeous, gorgeous Force of Will. Interesting. Interesting. What could we see here? He can't fully foil the Legacy with duels, so no part in starting. I suppose that's reasonable. I don't know. Whatever makes you happy. At the end of the day, Magic is a game. And I really enjoy that aspect of it, because it means that anytime that I approach something, my base level with this game, my step one at all times, is that it should be fun. So, I think that is an incredibly good aspect about the game that it is. So, I'll take the foil one. That's fantastic. And that is the Dark Depths. So, we do have the Dark Depths out, but no way to activate it just yet. Are you just saying that because I shaved off most of my beard, Alexis Bros? Because I truly miss it at this point. I should probably just grow it back. Vindicate on the singular land that is available to us. That's not bad. Alright, so we are going to lose that Underground Sea. Vindicate going away. And we are going to go for the classic attack for 1 with my 1/2. I dig it. Foil Lingering Souls makes foil Spirit tokens. Oh, definitely true. Definitely true. Okay. Isaka acetoned his borders. I know! I actually think his deck looks pretty cool. Mostly I don't really care about the appearance of decks. I like that they're functional. But I do know that he acetoned the deck just to make it all white border, and I can appreciate that one. I don't get the hate that goes his way. Okay. So, what do we have? Oh, goodness. Instead of a foil, you'll just get every card altered to have white borders. I mean, that's... Josh Warmonks is mentioning a player in the Seattle area who did white border his entire deck. It's kind of cool looking. He probably gets a lot of free wins just from people being tilted and spending all their time complaining about it, too. So we are going to pitch the Jace the Mind Sculptor to Force of Will that Stoneforge Mystic. And I'm told, and I'm not 100% sure, but I'm told that Jordan did it so that he couldn't sell it, which would force him to keep that deck. That is what I was told. I cannot speak to whether or not it is true. So Dark Depths is on the battlefield, all 10 counters sitting on it. Otherwise, we've got double Wasteland against Steven, and we haven't even fired any of them off. Jordan may be here tomorrow. That's wonderful. I would love to see him get on camera with that deck. If only, if nothing else, then to just watch chat react. even though they should be wonderfully reasonable about it. So we have got we're going to plus up this Nahiri. Taking a look at it, we have got +2. You may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. -2. Exile target tapped artifact, tapped creature, or enchantment. Or you can ult it with a -8 to find a creature in your deck and put it into play with haste. Return to your hand at the end step. Okay. Jordan is the best standstill player, Pacific Northwest. He's probably just the best standstill player. Granted, there's not many of them, but... Okay. And we are going to ult an Emrakul. And we are going to win. We're going to ult Nahiri, get an Emrakul, and attack for 15. So a deck based around its mana base was unable to find any of it. I mean, Chris was just struggling with mana that entire game. Which meant that Steven just had enough time to put together whatever he could and eventually just win the game with that Nahiri. Standstill is just a dang good card. I won't argue with it there. I think I'm hurting my knee with all my cycling. Oh, I'm so excited, everybody. I'm so excited. I've been trying to cycle more. I bought a desk cycler for when I'm streaming from home. And I've biked like 9 hours this last week across 2 different streams. So I did like just over 4 hours one night and just over 5 hours last night. And it has been marvelous. If not a little bit exhausting. But heading into a game 2, Chris with this Bug Dark Depths, a deck that I have not yet seen except for tonight. But again, Steven also on the same thing here with his non-blue control, running cards like Dark Confidant and Emrakul, the Eon's Torn. You also have cards like Nahiri to find the Emrakul. You've got 2 Stoneforge Mystics, plus you've got multiple mainboard swords, as well as Jite, as well as Batterskull. You've got a 4-color deck running Wastelands. I mean, everything about this deck is just bonkers. It's a 4-color deck running Wasteland. It's just... it just doesn't make sense. A Karakas coming in for Steven because of its utility against Merit Lage. Man, I am so curious. But, hello everybody, thank you so much for joining, ladies and gentlemen of the audience. My name is TJ, this is the Geek Fortress stream, and if you have not yet, be sure to hit that follow button. If you have not yet, think about hitting that sub button. If you have both the means and the desire to do so, it does mean a lot to me. It means a lot to us. It means a lot to what this stream is able to do. Every little bit really helps us function. We're trying to get to 175 right now because the computer decided to challenge us. It tells me that I have 153 out of 175. The computer is setting my goals for me, and now I must beat them because challenges are challenges, and I must overcome them. Kolaghan's Command. Probably should keep that one just to be able to take down Crucible of Worlds, things like that. But we have... yeah, I'm curious. This will be odd. But Chris presenting his deck and Steven getting ready to do the final shuffle and present his. Okay. Also, as a fun fact, have you heard about the GPT that we have coming up? Dang it, that's not the command. Oh, it is the command. Have you heard about the GPT? Because tomorrow, May 13th, 12 p.m. Pacific Time, I'm just going to read this word for word apparently, at Geek Fortress, there will be a Legacy GPT and a GPT stream live from Snohomish. It's Saturday noon. The regularly scheduled Modern stream will still take place after, at 6. It's going to be amazing and awesome. I'll be joined by the Cole Maniac for Legacy. I'll be joined by Texas for Modern. And I will be here for 11 hours to be your guide through your most amazing Saturday ever, while you hide from the Pro Tour. Is anyone playing Stasis and Legacy tomorrow? I don't know. I don't have the gift of foresight. Normally I play red cards, and that one is primarily blue card. Looks like Dylan decided to join. Hi there, Dylan. How you doing?
Hey guys, good. You guys want to talk Magic?
Yeah, we want to talk
Cool.
Magic.
All right.
Have you seen these decks? This
Which
is
ones?
a Bug Dark Depths, which is running the new Nissa.
Yeah. Chris picked that up actually last week, and he's been having a lot of fun with it.
And then, yeah, Steven and his non-blue control.
Non-blue running Stoneforge Mystic. It's running multiple main deck swords. It's running 2 Stoneforge Mystics. It's running a Dark Confidant, a Nahiri, an Emrakul with a Dark Confidant,
Yeah, I heard
Wastelands, and the 4-color deck.
I heard a sword got equipped into an Emrakul.
Twice now.
And the visual is just really hilarious to me. Could you imagine
1 tentacle, like...
giant Emrakul, and it's like one of the tentacles just like off in the corner has got a little sword attached to it. It's just like wailing in circles. Meanwhile, it's like 15 stories tall and it's like overtaking the world. It's like, what's that sword up there? Cool. I think it gives it protection from blue. Well, we can't tell because it's 50 feet tall.
You know, you want the one that gives protection from white. That way, it doesn't even get hit by Oblivion Ring.
True. Yeah. No, that's absolutely true. What is the good white ones? Was it probably Light and Shadow? Probably the best one of the white ones.
I would.
White and.
Yeah, like
Oh,
War and
wow.
Peace. It doesn't seem that necessary.
Oh, sorry. I just saw what happened here.
Thoughtseize to take a Pernicious Deed with no other cards in hand.
Gosh.
With a
Chris,
basic swamp against 2 Wastelands.
Chris, on a mold of 5, when your opponent goes turn 1 Thoughtseize, you just feel real bad.
You feel super bad.
Real
Check
bad.
out turn 2 him. It's been happening a lot. Oh, please tell me it's the Dark Confidant. Get domed for 15. This is now the 1 in 50 shot.
1 in 50 shots, take 15 damage.
We've seen
He's
him get
down
hit
to
by
18 already,
a Batter
so-
Skull, though.
Yeah, well, luckily Batterskull actually can bring you back into it a little bit, but it still hurts.
Take 5, try and gain 4 a couple of turns down the way.
Yeah, playing Jund, playing the Dark Confidants, the one of Tassiger. You know, there's only one, but you know it's going to come in at the most inopportune times. You're like, oh, cool, I'm going to take 6 damage. That was fun.
Yep.
Five-
Part of the reason
5
why it
damage.
didn't get run for that long.
Yeah, not
It
very
was so
much.
popular, and then people started taking 6.
Yeah, and they were like, you know what? This one of Tassiger, probably don't need it.
So not capitalizing against this mana
Ooh,
base,
that-
Chris has been incredibly patient with his Wastelands.
Yeah.
Taking 4 from that Nahiri, though.
That's a painful 4. I mean, 4 damage ain't, you know, a lot of good stuff.
It's
So
like the Wu-Tang Clan. It's
yeah.
not something to mess with.
I don't understand that reference.
It's okay. That's just okay.
So we give her being old.
No, that
Yeah, me anyway.
I think Wu-Tang was a lot closer to your timeline than mine.
He might have been. I didn't listen to that. Is that Josh? The War Monks. Hello, Josh. Hope to see you tomorrow.
I believe so. I believe so. So, Snapcaster coming in. The old pressure applicator.
Snapcaster. Oh, just the snap block.
And a Wasteland.
And a snap block and a wasteland. I think he probably brainstormed.
Yep. So, takes down the Underground Sea. No black mana to be seen at the moment. Does still have a tropical island.
Yeah.
And his own
Oh,
Wasteland.
he's got force. There's a Caracas. Whoa.
Karak is pretty good against Dark Depths.
Yep. Yes, it is.
Lingering Souls. Pretty bad to
What?
Pernicious Deed, but...
Yeah. Also, very good against Dark Depths.
I mean, it blocks 4 times while you try and find your Caracas.
Yeah.
And
What do we got here?
do you have the token binder that up there?
I don't know where it's at. I think Steven took it to redo something with it. I can't remember what he did.
Oh, so Steven decided to fix it because it was his in the first place, and now it's
Yeah.
gone.
I think we had a lot of tokens missing, so he decided to
Of course we did,
tinker with it. Yeah.
because people really enjoy us not having the tokens.
I mean, they're just tokens. I don't mind if they have them. They just don't want. Oh man, another wasteland.
And
Ooh!
another Stifle.
Ooh, that was fun. Oh,
What a hoot!
looks like you drew the Underground Sea. Is he gonna hold off on it?
Oh man, different Steven, by the way.
Yeah.
Can we talk to Steven about getting that for tomorrow, though?
I don't know.
Because I hate having Pokemon cards on stream.
Yeah, me too. We'll shoot him a text.
Okay.
I also don't like Pokemon.
I hate anything that isn't an actual token. I hate ad
Right.
cards. I hate using anything.
What is he?
It strikes me as just wildly awful.
Is that? I can't tell with these.
Double swords to
Kolaghan's-
plowshares,
is that those-
one
those are
Kolaghan's
swords,
command, and a
okay.
Hero and a lightning bolt.
The lightning bolt. Okay, that's what I thought. I thought those were the swords, but I couldn't tell. And then I remember they did the from the Vault 20 swords, the foiling process of those.
Mm-hmm. Are shiny.
Yeah, they're very, very shiny.
The Pokemon tokens are sweet though.
Takes the
They are
Nahiri.
not. I'm of the opinion that as people come into the stream on a 5-minute basis, like people enter the stream partway through a match, and if they
Yeah.
have to say what are those, I immediately hate it.
Yeah.
It is awful. But
Yeah,
those are spirits.
Wonder how many invocations are gonna not get played on stream for the purpose of no one ever understand or knowing what the heck they are.
Yeah, that's a good point. I basically would have to go off of context clues.
Yeah.
So,
Ooh, I think he's got a crop rotation. That's actually not a bad draw, because, I mean,
he has the Wasteland to take down the Caracas as well. So
Yeah.
going for the Dark Depths isn't completely outside.
yeah, but he's on too quick of a clock, I think.
Mhm.
He's in 2 turns, actually. Would it be great here? Oh, man, do I say it and jinx it when Steven's at 14 life and we're cool in his deck?
Yeah. Can you say that outside the context of the stream you like Pokemon card tokens? No, that's great. You can love them there. I think that they can be super fun there. Boy, that is quite nad.
That was a big link.
Not anymore. It looks real
Deleted.
tiny in there.
Yeah, no, people can use the tokens when you're playing or whatever, but when people are watching, a lot of people are watching, and, you know, it makes it easy. But, you know what? We can explain that they are, in fact, 1/1 Lingering Souls tokens.
Yes.
And go from there.
4 of them.
4 of them.
A hit for 6.
Ouch. That hurts.
So far lucky getting the lands. We're still at, I think we're at, or no, we took 2. We're down to 12, aren't we?
Yep. And,
But the hit for 6 knocks us down to 6. Can we come up with an answer to this? Or did Steven's non-blue control just end up taking it in 2?
yeah. I'm not sure what Chris is running. He's running Bug Dark Depths. It's probably some very different list, so he could have, like, a crop rotation. See, I was wondering...
Crop rotation Tabernacle.
I mean, that's what I was thinking. A Tabernacle or a Glacial Chasm.
And then
would
Wasteland the Caracas just so that he can't save. That way he can only save 3 of them.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a really cool play, is to do that, and it really makes the clock a lot less, quickly. But
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know if he's... I mean, that's a different thing. Like, Tabernacle is such an expensive card.
Or you just hope that an Emrakul comes in and bashes.
Here we go. God, I want to see it so bad.
Live the dream.
Please, please.
Come on. Emrakul. Ah,
That is...
that is not Emrakul.
That's only 1.
Conley81, thank you so much for hitting that follow button.
Thanks, buddy.
It's a pleasure having you here. Actually, hold on. Is Conley81 the actual Conley Woods? I think it might be.
I don't know. Who's Conley Woods? Just kidding. He's a Magic player. If I remember right, he's pretty good.
It's not bad. It is?
He plays Magic like every now and then.
He dabbles in it. Conley, I love your stream. Thank you so much for stopping by. I've invited you to do commentary here with us once we get our new computer. So if you're ever interested in doing some commentary with us, keep in touch.
Yeah.
I would absolutely love it. So Steven takes this one in 2.
Yeah.
Dylan, do you want me to do the biggest of favors?
I believe I do.
Are
Should
you
we go
aware
find
that?
a new match?
Yeah.
Might
I would
wear
love
the-
it. Or an exhibition match, something like that.
Something like that.
Let's
Can
get
I
some-
just go just goldfish on stream? Does that sound like fun?
Only if there's nothing better.
There is nothing better. I'll go find something better.
Okay. Thanks. We'll see you out there. Hello everybody and thank you so much for joining. My name is TJ. This is the Geek Fortress stream. We do this every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. We've got Modern and Legacy action here, plus tomorrow during the Pro Tour, which of course is the best kind of scheduling conflict to have. We will be doing our Legacy GPT at noon Pacific time. I'm excited. I hope that you're excited and will join us because that will be all the fun that can lead its way up into the realms of Modern at 6 o'clock. So I will be here for about 11 hours doing commentary. It's going to be amazing, fun, and exciting. It's going to be awesome. Hey TJ, will you be at GP Montreal? I don't believe so. I will be at GP Vegas, and then I intend to be at Portland and Oklahoma City are the ones that I am currently trying to do. Thanks, Broham. Definitely down sometime in the future. Conley, that is awesome, and frankly kind of an honor from someone who is a pretty big name and an extremely talented player to watch. So I'm quite excited about that. So thank you so much for joining. Thanks for being here, and thank to all of you for being here, because this stream certainly exists because of all of you continually supporting myself and all of our efforts. So it's good having you. Let's keep doing awesome things. In the meantime, we're going to try and find another match to show, and I do hear Dylan. I think he's coming back.
We got nothing. Let's play 50 questions real quick.
50?
Who? No, not 50. Who likes Magic? Raise your hand. All right. Next question. No, we everyone's in between. Everyone's in games right now, so go out in a few minutes. There's a couple games that look like they're close to being done.
Well, then, do you want to tell us about some of the events that we have coming up other than the Legacy GPT tomorrow?
There's a lot of stuff going on. So we got, let me think here. We got, besides tomorrow, and
Yep.
then next Sunday we have a standard PPTQ, which I think will be the last one for this like new rotation, I think is how it works.
Okay.
Because then the one coming up in July is Modern. Modern was one of the only two options. It was actually the first time in I think in about a year since it has not been standard or sealed as the only way to run it. Our GPTs Compare Ariel, you have the option.
Oh, true. Okay.
Yes, you
so
have the
they're-
option. I personally like to run them because I feel like, it's just a good way to practice.
Mhm.
It is a good way to practice. Getting the deck list, making sure your deck list is correct, because nothing feels worse than having a loss because you put one land instead of two, or whatever. So it's just nice. Plus, it keeps people kind of honest. Mistakes can get made, but makes you I think a better player if you're held accountable for the way you play.
It's a stage that can prepare you for the event that you're actually trying to go to.
Right. It's very bizarre that they did that change. So yes.
Do you mind if I do reports, or do you want to do it?
Go ahead.
So we have got.
Legacy starts on 7:30. We are located in Snohomish, Washington.
Yep.
And you are free to come. Techno Squirrel. Very nice.
I know. And
That's
they
fine.
subbed today.
I can only imagine what a Techno Squirrel sounds like.
Uh,
Probably very like fast-paced and high-pitched.
It's probably a lot like Nightcore, like what Nightcore does to all their remixes, which is basically like take EDM songs and then just put them at like 1.5 speed.
Alvin, Simon, and Theodore. Theodore.
Essentially, they're like somewhere between like
Fast.
regular and chipmunk.
That's
Oh.
like high-pitched.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, anyways, yeah. So and then we also have the second Legacy GPT for Vegas, which is the very last one that stores will be able to run. They'll be probably like, what do they call them? First or last chances there.
Yes.
But this will be the very last one because the cutoff date was June 2nd, so that's the last one.
We will be streaming that
It'll
one.
be a Friday night special. I'm gonna stop. We're not gonna do any F&Ms, no drafts. It'll be just Legacy.
What time is it starting?
It'll be starting later. I think I wrote down 6, but the start time might be a little. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, like get here at 6, start at 7?
Maybe. Yeah, I gotta double check. I can't remember.
Okay.
Squirrelex? Is that a joke? That's
Yes. So
pretty good. And then also, what is it? Next month after. Gosh, I'm trying to remember. Is it the 25th? So my birthday is June 23rd. In case anyone, I'll be turning 20 all over again. And can't wait. One more year until I can, go out to bars and stuff.
saloons.
25th, I believe, we'll be attempting our first 1K. So that'll be a guaranteed 400, 250, 100 to 100, 50, 50, 50, 50 store credit towards the top 8. So it'll be,
The Geek Fortress 1K.
Hopefully
if you're
fun.
in the area, be sure to show up.
yeah.
I think I
Summer
should probably
quarter,
stream that,
summer
right?
quarter. I don't know. It'd be fun.
It does seem fun.
I will not play in it. Maybe I'll stream it. You'll play.
Ooh, now that sounds fun.
I don't want to do all this.
Ugh.
It's like way too much work. You gotta press buttons and stuff.
I know. It's actually pretty fun doing it, though. I've gotten decent at it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I like it. So I'm gonna go see if I can see if someone else is playing. You can continue to talk questions. See if
Sounds good.
One second.
See if Colin wants to be an exhibition match again. 1K Modern. It'll be a modern 1K Andy Prime. But again, thank you everybody who is joining. Be sure to stick around. We've got more Legacy coming your way. We are currently in round 3 of 4. So even if we don't find something else here in the next few minutes, we will also have a round 4. And Coleman probably keeping his eyes open to see if there's another match. When Dylan went out, they were all in games at the moment, but we are going to try and get someone moved on over, keep the action coming at you. So, be excited, get hyped. It is the weekend now. How is everybody doing? Take a moment with me. I do like doing this because it's an opportunity for me to communicate you to where you are able to put in your thoughts. Let's do this. What have you got going this weekend? Let me know. Maybe you're watching this GPT. Maybe you're watching the Pro Tour. Maybe you're just hanging out and having some fun. Maybe you got to mow your lawn before the rain comes in. Maybe you are going to go visit some family, and almost certainly you're going to go say hi to, or maybe call up your mother. Wish her a happy Mother's Day. Techno Squirrel, you will be at work. Hey, that's excellent. Work is good. It fills you with purpose and fulfillment. Will you be working hard or hardly working? Cliched jokes are fun. Calling them cliched jokes, also fun. It's like a double whammy. Now that you know that there's Legacy GPT being streamed, you're probably going to watch that over the Pro Tour. Whoop, whoop. I love it. Thank you so much. Maybe I should make a Reddit post or something like that. We'll see. The NCAA lacrosse playoffs are this weekend. That sounds awesome, Dryer Sheet. Are you playing in them? I think I remember, and I honestly, and I apologize for this, I remember that we had someone talk about being in lacrosse, and I assumed that might be you. Is Peck still here? I don't know. Do you mean in the building? I don't know anyone by that name. What time is the Legacy GPT? Noon Pacific time. Yes, do that. MTG Legacy over the main Magic sub would be great. That is excellent. I can do that. The Magic sub downvotes everything that isn't like Cardboard Crack or... I don't know. The Magic subreddit downvotes basically everything related to a stream. They hate it. So I generally don't post anything in there ever. So I tend to just go for the specialized ones. Veggie, thank you so much for the sub. It's great seeing you here. I love it. Thanks for the support, the continued support. 7 months in a row. It's been a long and wonderful journey. I appreciate you being here. And you keep on, just use those emotes as you see fit. We've got some good ideas for some that'll be coming down the pipeline as well. But yeah, if it isn't like, I don't know, Cardboard Crack, something with the storyline, Robo Rosewater, or something related to Paul, I guess Paul Cheon gets upvoted a lot, then pretty much you're donezo. You're donezo on the Magic TCG. So I pretty much just never use that subreddit at this point. I just don't even go visit it anymore. Good points. I mean, it is what it is. Like, if they enjoy that content, then that subreddit is absolutely welcome to keep doing it. Robo Rosewater is incredible, sure, but that doesn't mean that you have to get rid of everything else. Like, Magic TCG is a very, very streamlined community for something that is a giant blanket name. Oh, man. So, hire Geek Fortress to run a GP? That would be bold. I am certain that we do not have the resources to do so, but hey, I'd love to do it anyway. If nothing else, I would like to one day also do commentary for Wizards or for Star City. I would really enjoy that. I would love to do this on all my Wednesdays, my Fridays, on my Saturdays, and I would absolutely love to occasionally fly out for a weekend and do some commentary on that stage. Absolutely, that's true, IC Sounds. Absolutely. Certainly a girl can dream. Look a lot better than Wizard streams? I don't know about that. Unclear. Unclear at the present time. If I can get David back, have David fly out with me, maybe. But, I don't know. Or actually, if it's us, then it would be a WotC stream. See? Tricky. It gets tricky at that point. Either way, I'm excited. I'm going to open this door and see if there's anything else to be seen. I'm going to scoot one chair over as well. A scoot and a lean. Nope. Okay, I just got to stick around. Do you want to do an exhibition? What? Do you want to do an exhibition or something? Anything. Any level of content. Okay. Just destroyed your mind.
Chat like what I'm doing.
Chat likes what you're doing more than nothing. Okay. So we've got a feature match. We're going to get an exhibition match on here. We're going to have more Steven, though I don't want you at all for the 4th round. Coleman, no. Don't spam this deck for 3 rounds in a row.
I know, that's what I mean. I'm trying to find something else.
I can do exhibition, though.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Coleman builds a deck and decides it needs to be the feature for the night. Then again, it is pretty sweet. So, Emrakul and Dark Confidant. It is allowed to be on for the 4th round if they stack the deck to have an Emrakul off of a Dark Confidant. I will allow that, however. That sounds fun to me. I will absolutely allow someone to play that deck for 4 rounds in a row if they guarantee me that they will flip an Emrakul off of a Dark Confidant in every single round. That's the rule. If you're going to put together this deck and show up with it tomorrow, remember that rule. Otherwise, it's Dunzo. Endorino. My friend the Jackapup has just started watching. Hi, Jackapup. How's it going? Good to see you. And hello to everybody else. To take a quick moment, I know that I tend to do this.
Alright, I've got an exhibition. It's going to be me versus Josh.
Okay, where's Josh?
Josh is... Oh, there we go. That's a better matchup. Josh is going to be facing wall.
Okay.
And I will obviously be on the wall.
Uh-huh.
Josh, I guess, is going to be playing Rug.
I do have a quick edit to my statement, by the way.
What's that?
You are allowed to put that deck on camera for the last round. If you stack the deck to hit an Emrakul off of a Dark Confidant.
Oh, okay, sure. I
No
think
other
I can
option.
do that. And I'm going to be playing Elves.
Okay.
Well, it was a lot better than Elves versus Reanimator, or Infect versus Elves.
It depends. Can you just take out the Elvish Norn?
Well, I beat Josh 2-0 or 2-1, so...
So you did take out the Elvish Norn.
Turns out when you keep a 5-lander with no lands, it's pretty bad against a turn 1 Death Ray Shaman.
It's pretty not good. That is pretty not good. Alright, thanks. Good jamming. You would play a Mardu Nahiri list on Cockatrice, and you flipped an Emrakul off of a Dark Confidant? Nice. What deck is doing the Emmy flips? It would be the 4-color, or it's a non-blue control that we saw a little bit. Okay, did you hear Elves? Yes, you did. Let's go watch it. See you there. All good. Okay, so let's get this going. Let's get this show on the road. We are in round 3. Question to everyone. You don't play EDH often. You're thinking of adding Coat of Arms to your token deck. What do you think? I've got a question for you in response, and since it's on top of the stack, you have to answer mine before I can answer yours. We aren't going to do this whole I asked you first nonsense. When you hear Coat of Arms, do you think that's a fun card? I will wait to give you my response until you answer that. Do you think that card is fun? Okay. Let's see here. Do. Oh, Josh is running one of my favorite Mountain Knights in his deck. That's pretty cool. We also do have a Brainstorm here. Moontoadfoot seems to be spamming some hearts for the robots. You gotta love that. If you can teach a robot love, then you can dodge a ball. Yes, but a lot of math. Alright, if it's fun, run it. Done. This is EDH, not Legacy. Not Vintage. Not Modern. Not Standard. You're playing EDH. And it's definitely not an EDH league. It's not a Commander league. So you don't actually have to, like, play a Vintage. So play whatever you think is fun. Alright, your question resolves. Why would Symbiote from Josh? We've got a Mountain into a Monastery Swiftspear into a Gitaxian Probe. We're going to take a look at a Verdant Catacombs. Gaia's Cradle, a Natural Order, and an Elvish Visionary. Coleman looking to just probably end up going for a Natural Order for a Progenitus, if he can get through a Force of Will. We've got an attack for 1 because we have the ability to do so. And we're going to hit Josh down to 17. Coleman down to 17 as well because of the fetch as well as the hit from the Monastery Swiftspear. How aggressive is Rug Delver compared to the other ones? I would say it's more aggressive. You run a lot more Lightning Bolts. You have some Stifles to keep your opponent off of things, but you also just have Nimble and Mongoose alongside Tarmogoyf and Delver of Secrets as your primary threats. So I would probably say it's the most aggressive one. You don't really, you don't have the value, yeah. A little bit less value, a little bit more just straight pushing forward. And now that Terminus is gone, it might become a pretty viable option again, just because Terminus as well as Council's Judgment were both incredibly good tools against a Nimble Mongoose. But with those theoretically going away, then you might be looking a little bit better. How do you feel about Thrun in the main deck of Kiki Cord? I feel fine about anything as a one of in Kiki Cord. If you have a meta in which Thrun is good, that's great. But do remember that cording for a Thrun takes away half of the card's benefit. Okay. Let's see here. High Speed Coleman. We should get an Elgato button for the streams. I don't know what that means. So we can press a button to adjust life totals with the click of a button instead of having to type. I don't necessarily have to type. I also do just have a button, which you can hear me doing as well. But we do have plans to eventually upgrade everything. But again, it has to be entirely within our means, both technologically as well as financially, as well as just having the resources to do so. We do have ideas for all that, but also it would be nice if this computer remained functioning as a computer. We also just need to eventually upgrade this machine. We are going to be getting another computer to break apart the work that the stream has. But right now it basically operates off of its own server, which continually updates the overlay on a 3-second basis. Okay, so we have got a lot of things for Coleman. We are sitting there with the Quirion Ranger. We have got the Elvish Visionary Nettle Sentinel hanging out. We no longer have the Wirewood Symbiote, but we've got a pretty good amount of pressure, and we have got a natural order. What's up, Miffy? It's good to see you. How we doing? We are doing well. We are doing so very well, and we are excited about our GPT tomorrow. We're going to see a Chain Lightning on this Nettle Sentinel. Coleman with this natural order. Are we going to fire it off next turn and possibly be playing into a Force of Will? Josh does not have one. So if we go for it, it will work. And we will have probably a Progenitus against a deck that doesn't get to answer it very well. Coleman fires that off, and I believe that might have been a Deathrite Shaman, but I'm not 100% certain on that. Drawing card off of that one as Coleman falls to 11, but he looks like he's actually playing the Patient game. Oh, it's actually nice. Okay, so we're going to tap 2 to create a mana. We're going to play a Nettle Sentinel. And we are going to return that, go for the natural order, sack the Elvish Visionary, and we have got a response from Josh who is going to brainstorm, going to be finding a blue source, going for that brainstorm, trying to find a Force of Will. Gotta find it or you're gonna die. Also, noting his, you don't have to announce it until it's relevant, Josh. Going for the prowess trick on his Swift Spear. Wants it noted.
Oh, there's the blue card.
And we have got a Force of Will and a blue card off of the Brainstorm. Nicely done, Josh. You find it, you counter it, you get the bashes in. We are going to hit for 3, and we are going to knock him down to 11. 11 all around at the end of the turn. Scratch that, it was a 10 because of the Force of Will. It actually took 5 that turn. Oh, speaking of GPT, you played in a Sin one tonight, got top 2 split because you don't care about buys for Omaha. You played the new Perspective combos? Well, I do hear that card is pretty good. Oh. Oh, man. I got too excited about that brainstorm. And we are going to see an attack. A little bit of an unusual attack here, but hey, Coleman's in top deck mode. We do have a Lightning Bolt. Oh, surprise. Surprise. We have got a Lightning Bolt. Probably deciding where we want to put it. Could target... I don't know, I guess you go face and put Coleman down to 6 and hope for the best. Nope, we're going to take out the Nettle Sentinel. And we are going to fall down to 9. It's a fantastic card and a fun combo deck to play. It looked pretty good at the Pro Tour. Did the modern GPT list get posted ever? I don't know. I don't even know what happened to them, to be honest. Couldn't tell you. Maybe Steven has them. Or Coleman has them, or Dylan has them. I don't know. Which tells me that they haven't been. I'll have to track that down. It has been a week and a half for me. Okay. Oh, I'm going to sneeze again. Stop it, me. So, down to 6 falls Josh. And we're going to pick him up because we're deadsies. What if there's a Soul Scar mage that did damage in the form of +1/+1 counters instead of -1/-1 counters? To what? Your creatures or to all creatures? That sounds weird, but also awesome. Thank you, Dark Mage Walt. Alright, so it looks like the next round might be going up as both players start to walk away. Let's head on up to the booth and get ready for round 4. We will be seeing the finale, the finals, the big to-do as people find their way to the table. I'll see you there. Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining me for that feature match, and let's get ready for round 4. All 140 of you, if you haven't yet, be sure to hit that follow button and join me more in the future. I'm excited about it. I hope that you're excited about it. It is going to be a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time here in round 4. But if you're thinking, TJ, the legacy's almost done, I am not ready for it to end, can't you bring me some more legacy content? Yes. Yes, I can. And just for you, I'm going to do it. You see, just now I decided to schedule a Legacy GPT for tomorrow at noon because that's when it works out. And we will have it, we will stream it, and we will have the time of our lives, just like the song. And I owe it all to you because you convinced me to do it. I'm excited about it. It's going to be at noon Pacific time tomorrow, and it will be followed up by our modern 6 p.m. stream, just like we do on every Saturday. Does that sound like it's too much to be true? Too bad. It is. I'm excited the Colemaniac will be with me, and we'll be followed up with the Texas with me. But Coleman poking his head in as he is ready to give me the info on our sweet, sweet finale.
Yeah, the finals match is the Folk Mirror. It's me and Dylan. And you will actually get to see Rug Delver, not Blue Red Delver.
Really? So this is Dylan facing the wall?
Yep.
And you on it?
Yep. Literally nothing has changed after that.
Okie doke. Sweet preview.
Yep. I got some more Delvers. Don't worry.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you so much. Wow, we're the best. You're the best. Around. And nothing's ever gonna bring you down. You're the best. Around. Nothing's ever gonna bring you down. Let's head on down for the finals. Rug Delver in the hands of Dylan up against Coleman. Showing off that elf's sweet power that he's got. Should it be fun? Yes. Will it be amazing? Yes. Will it be exciting? Yes. Will it be legacy action taken straight to your device, whether it be a phone, a computer, or, of course, the tinfoil hat that you wear on your head? Can we do it? Yes, we can. Moontoad Foot, we're working on vintage. We'll see you down there. The players lining up. That's so great that we can watch Legacy tomorrow. Yes, it is. I'm excited about it, and I'll be watching it with you. Alright, what have we got going on? Note the Elves made it to the finals. Not a call that I don't want to say that I called that at the beginning of this tournament, but I called that at the beginning of this tournament. We also commented about how Rug Delver was looking a lot better in the meta, and looks like we made it to the finals. I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it. Deathrite Shaman for Coleman to kick things off. Pretty powerful play, pretty incredible play. With Dylan chilling with a Ponder. Firing that one off, and we are going to draw a card, pass it back. Coleman fires off a Wirewood Symbiote. No land yet. Could be this Cavern of Souls, naming elves. And if he had played that first, Dylan may have been more incentivized to use a counterspell on the Wirewood Symbiote by playing that afterward. He was telling Dylan, don't worry about counting this, there'll be another important card. Drops in an Elvish Visionary as well. Why not run Probe and Elves? Seems good. Because you don't need it. I don't know. Disappointing salad. Disappointing salad. You are a featured viewer of the day. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for being as awesome as you are. I love it. I'm guessing it's just actual disappointing salad. Yes, it is. Thank you so much for being here. There is nothing worse than a disappointing salad on your plate, but there is nothing better than a disappointing salad in your chat. Thank you for being here. Thanks for being as awesome as you are, and just keep being who you are, because that is an incredible person. So, Deathrite Shaman and an Elvish Visionary out. Dylan rocking and rolling with this Lightning Bolt on the Wirewood Symbiote. Probably one of the more key cards here for Coleman's deck. Let's see here. Why not run Probe to see if the coast is clear? I suppose you could, but it's just unnecessary. The deck doesn't really need it, and it sometimes acts as just a reasonable beatdown deck. And it ends up meaning that you, like, at that point, what do you cut? I don't know. It's like a frog moose kind of thing. Thoughts on Blue-Red Delver and Legacy right now? It's like any other Delver deck, but a little bit more streamlined. You get to run Wastelands. You don't get to get Wastelanded as much. You could... yeah, I mean, I've seen it before. It's like a pretty aggro version. You go a little bit less burn. It's done reasonably well. You end up losing some of the threats that green offers, and you end up losing a little bit of the, I guess, the resiliency that Grixis offers. But you can probably get away with it. You just become true to your name tempo of just going all in, play a turn 1 threat, and then stop you and burn you. Combo Elvis is a combo deck that relies on Hoof. I'm not sure if I fully agree with that. I think that Blue-Red Delver is probably the best deck to get into Legacy, just because every card is the cards that will be viable in every other deck, and then it goes in every direction. I was hearing Josh Monks describe it the other day, and it just made perfect sense to me. So, glimpse of nature from Colin. If there's a card to counter, it's this one, and we're going to see that. The Stifle getting exiled from that Force of Will. Dylan gonna say a swift no to that. Coleman is holding on to... ooh, and we don't have Threshold yet. Say Coleman is holding on to the Natural Order at the moment. And we have a Green Sun Zenith. You're an Elves player? That's awesome, but I'm not sure if I would call it a combo deck that relies on Greater Hoof, personally. I don't know. I know that some treat it as a mid-range deck that happens to have a combo win. And we are going to take down the Wirewood Symbiote with a Lightning Bolt. What's up, Dylan?
Hey, you can help. Hello, everybody.
Does Dylan live at Geek Fortress? No more than I do.
This is Coleman.
I know. And I said... oh, did I say Dylan?
Yeah.
Sorry. Does Coleman live at Geek Fortress? No more than I do.
He comes and plays tournaments and then leaves. I kick him out.
Yep. I come here, talk about tournaments, and then leave.
I do live here. Actually, it's funny. There was someone the other day. It was like, oh, I came and you were closed. And I was like, how did you manage that? That was my actual response. I was like, that takes actual skill to show up when I'm closed. They're like, yeah, I showed up and you weren't here. I'm like, you did what?
Well done, I suppose.
Yeah, that is difficult to do. It's like 4 a.m. Sure, yeah, I may not be here unless it's pre-release weekend. So we got to brainstorm. This is a very interesting match. I feel like Elvis has a very solid game plan here.
Yeah, I mean, they fight through counterspells pretty well just because
Yeah.
they have such a density.
Yep.
And skill, magic, game.
Yeah, he's got the Cavern, fights through.
2 natural orders.
Let's see, Cavern gets through the counterspells. What else gets through the counterspells? You got the, here comes the Natural Order.
Might as well try for it.
He's going to Spell Pierce it.
And that actually gets beat. So we just pass it back, not attacking with these elves yet. I think Coleman's just going to go for it next turn too. He's starting to run out of cards in hand. And,
That's funny, because I was just thinking about how Elves usually has a Cavern of Souls, and, like, you're never going to lose, like, the counter unless you pay X. Spells will never get you. And then, of course, the Spell Pierce gets him. Because Cavern's just so crazy. It's just like tap 1 land, gain 4 or more mana.
oh, as far as, like, against a Spell Pierce
Yeah,
or...
Daze, Spell Pierce, all that good stuff.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point if you consider that it's tapping for the extra mana. Then again,
Yeah.
Spell Pierce doesn't. Not really Spell Pierce because it only pays for creatures.
Well, right, yeah. I'm just
Censor,
in,
though.
In general, though. Yeah, just in general. Censor.
Functionally adds mana for those effects, though.
Alright, I think he's just going to take the 3 here. Ooh,
Did he
slapped.
choose Leopard on Cavern? He's
hope
been
so.
known to do that, so maybe.
We don't know.
We might want to confirm. He might have just chose Legolas.
Chose Goblin. Oh.
Chose Legolas.
Uh,
Let's try it again.
well, Dylan has no reason to complain about anything ever again.
Oh, Dylan living the good life.
Yeah, that Goyf is a 4/5, I think.
Never didn't have it. Oh my goodness. I hit
Yeah.
for 6.
Now Colin with the top deck.
Please tell me it's a natural order and Dylan just flips the...
Yeah. Oh,
Four.
Deathrite Shaman will definitely help this a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Deathrite Shaman will help the bleeding because now
Into
he can,
Birchlow Rangers.
because now he's got the chump blocker for the Goyf,
Boom.
and the Deathrite Shaman can kind of help get back in that game. Unless he's another Mongoose. That's a pretty good top deck. He's
Yeah.
at 2 life now.
We're either sweet... It's a Heritage Druid.
Another blocker, really, at this point.
So you block all out and then gain 2 life?
Or you could try to stack block. I mean, the Nettle Sentinel is a 2/2, so you could try to take out a Mongoose here, and you could then block and still gain life. So,
Oh yeah, that's true.
So you would lose 1.
Okay, so we're actually going to gain 2
he's
and
got
keep
a
those on
Stifle.
field.
Yeah, no, he's got the Stifle.
Stifle takes it down.
I don't want to ever hear Dylan complaining about not having the right card. Dylan
Had-
with a smug look on his face on that
Had
day.
Spell Pierce into Spell Pierce on 2 natural orders into a Stifle on the
Rug-
surviving
Rug
Deathrite Shaman.
Delver- Rug Delver is such a frustrating deck sometimes because it just plays all like it's literal the top part of the curve is Tarmogoyf.
Yeah. And
So-
actually, like, getting rid of... I mean, first of all, top. So countertop, not able to just crush the deck.
Yep.
But then if you start looking in the realm of the idea that there's not many Terminus played anymore, which
No.
was the only answer to Nimble Mongoose, really, that and Council's Judgment, which is the same deck.
Yep.
Rug Delver's looking pretty good.
Yeah. Rug Delver is a very frustrating card. It is just like there's nothing worse than having your like Rug Delver player turn 1 Delver pass
Mm-hmm.
and then daze whatever you play the land, and then you play something and they Spell Pierce it and flip Delver, and they're just like, it is such a maddening deck. Like,
Probably the truest tempo of the
yeah.
Delver
Oh
Raids.
yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, it can literally play off 1 land.
That or blue-red, I
It can play
suppose.
off 1 land, have Force, Daze, Spell Pierce, Nimble Mongoose, Delver. Oh man.
Man, they're really cutting off on the Tarmogoyf.
Yeah, the blood pressure raises playing that one.
All right,
Back to
Techno
audio
Squirrel,
only?
enjoy
Oh.
your audio only.
Oh, yep. Back to lunch. Wait, we're lunch over. Where are you at?
Wait, where are you working if you're also going to join us for a GPT or a Friday Night Legacy? Are you working the night shift?
Must be working that night shift at Graveyard.
Working on the night shift.
Manatithe is frustrating. Yeah. You know, with Manatithe though, I mean, don't you just have to like applaud your opponent if they get you with a Manatithe? Like, okay, you know what? You got me.
I'm pretty sure that, like, in any cube in which Manatithe is in the cube, I will get Manatithed.
Yeah. Because you know you're gonna draw it on turn 1.
I will
Your
I will
opponent
get
will anyway.
Manatithed every single time.
Yeah.
Are we cubing? Manatithe. Yep. All right, you got me. Ugh, Manatithe. It's so you never play around it.
Yeah.
It's always in a deck it's never the mono white deck
You
that
can't,
splashes it either.
oh.
It's always the just completely random, like it's the blue white deck
Mm-hmm.
that didn't leave up any blue mana. And you're like, I'm safe to resolve my bomb. Manatithe. Alright.
Yep. 5 p.m. to 1:30.
Professor French with the host. Thank you so much. It's an
Hey,
auto host,
Professor
but
French.
you've got 6 of them. Your birthday is on Monday, and I'll be joining you for a stream on that day. I'm excited about it.
I will not. But happy birthday.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're free Monday night, check out the Professor French stream. I will be streaming with him.
So what do we? I think we had a mulligan on Dylan's side. So what are we bringing in? What are we taking out here? I think Elves probably brings in. What do they have? I mean, it's really tough because what are you bringing against the tempo deck?
In Elves?
I mean, like when you're playing against
There's
the
not a
type
whole
deck,
lot of like good silver
The-
bullets for it.
it feels like the main board is actually just good enough.
Kind of does, yeah.
I mean, it's really frustrating because like he did lose that one, but I mean, he lost that off a very lucky double spell pierce.
He got obliterated by the
Very lucky
cards.
double spell pierce, and I think maybe he might have to play around it a little bit, which isn't that bad when you can actually pump out a ton of mana.
Mm-hmm.
There's the death ray. Uh,
Do you go for like
wow,
surgical
that's
extraction? Nah, that's only for combo decks. I don't want it in this.
yeah, I don't know. That's a
don't-
tough one.
I want
would-
Elder Scale Worm, which is a random one
He
of.
can't have much, and I think Dylan has
Thoughtseizes?
that's like really kind of you could Thoughtseize just for the the information is probably more important, like, but it's not a lot.
You could Abrupt
It's easy to
Decay to try
force.
and take down some hate cards.
Ooh, it actually was a really strong force by Coleman, or getting
Dang.
force pitching a spell pierce.
Yeah.
Get rid of 2 counter spells.
I mean, but losing a glimpse.
Yeah, that's actually surprising because Dylan probably knows that spell pierce. Oh, there's the blind flip naturally.
Classic.
The spell pierce doesn't hit a lot. You're playing against a deck that plays what, 4 or 5 spells max that are not creatures. So turn 2 Reality Smasher good. It's not as good as a turn 2 Grizzlebrand.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I might bring in Cabal Therapy. That way I can
Cabal
potentially
Therapy's-
name a Force of Will before I go for the natural.
Yeah,
rare.
Cabal Therapy is actually probably your best bet because you have the
Or
each-
Thoughtseize.
Yeah, I would think Cabal Therapy would be better because then you have
Mm-hmm.
the double. You have the information and everything.
You think Grixis Delver is the superior Delver deck? I think that for a
It's-
long time it was, and potentially still
I think
is.
so as well right now. A lot of people are talking about Gerbong Angler because all these tempo and fair decks are coming to play, so Fatal Pushes are coming out, and
Yep.
Inquisition, and Gerbong gets right over that real easy.
I think that there's a. I mean, that's been like the long-term best deck.
Yeah.
I just. I think that there could be a world in which Rug is
Bolt?
coming back with. I don't know. The new
And
meta.
Bolt?
I don't think
Wow.
that the new meta is still where it's at.
Double Bull.
I
yeah,
think we're
no,
still in a transition.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And there is, in fact, it's really actually kind of frustrating because, you know, you have a GP in a month and a half and you're trying to prepare for it, and you are not flying blind, but it is going to be
You have to go
difficult.
with a good open meta deck.
It's going to be difficult.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3. He's got the Scoos. The Scoos. That's what he brings in. He brings in the Scoos. Scoos is real strong here
Scoos is real good against the Nimble
French-
Mongoose
yeah.
and the.
because it'll just be bigger.
Yep.
It'll just be bigger. Coleman can flood his own graveyard with dudes if he can't get over the top with natural. Or I actually really like Elves. Talk about a fun deck.
Elves is so good.
Talk about a fun deck.
I was talking about this one with Coleman the other day, and like Elves
Storm.
is super well positioned in this meta,
Yeah.
except for the fact that Storm is a hard matchup. If you can come with a sideboard strategy that beats Storm, then the deck
God,
looks
do you
super well
have-
positioned.
I don't really think there's a whole heck of a lot that you can do against Storm. I mean,
I
it's
guess
got to be some sort of like just
The
graveyard, right?
surgicals.
Yeah, surgicals are like a Grafdigger's Cage, so they can't pass in flames.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty. I mean, there's not a lot.
So, oh, you know what? Sideboard into an Eidolon of the Great Revel. Cast off of Birchlow Rangers.
I mean, yeah, you gotta.
And then never cast. Then don't do your deck's game plan, which is weak to Eidolon.
It's a tough one. I really think that almost you just don't even sideboard because the matchup's so bad. Yeah.
Coleman takes game one.
Yeah,
Or, sorry, game two.
Game 2, yeah. No, that looked like a pretty hot hand for Coleman.
He was just.
Yeah, he was able to get the force out there, put enough threats, and Scavenging Ooze is just, 4/4. We know that those beaters can be pretty good, so.
Cuts off a good portion of the deck's ability to function. Like
There.
the Tarmogoyfs are now 0/1s. The
Yeah.
Nimble Mongooses are 1/1s.
Yeah. I don't know about the best deck. Let's calm down here. But I think it definitely got better. Definitely got better. It's weird, like some decks got
I
Like-
would not be surprised if it was in the finals tomorrow.
oh no,
At
absolutely
all.
not.
The-
No, I've never surprised. I mean, Elves is a good deck. I mean, if it dodges enough, it's there's a few matchups that are not great, like combo decks, really in general. Reanimator, Storm.
Yep.
They are very, very good against that. Whoa,
And Rob reached the mic.
that's okay. No one else is though, right?
Yeah.
All right, you're good.
Cool.
All right, thanks.
Hi, Mason.
Mason making an appearance, telling me that the store is not burned down, which is good news.
That is wonderful news.
Yeah.
There's not a backdoor out of here.
So we got a
Ah.
sideboard, and I don't know if they're. I think think Dylan. I don't know if he's playing Pyroclasm, but it's an interesting card because it may kill your own Delvers.
He's running Rough and Tumble, which actually doesn't.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
Yep. So
Yeah,
actually,
that's
let's
good.
bring up that card. It's worth bringing up. It's gonna be sideways because
Yeah,
that's how it
'cause it's
goes.
sideways. So
But regardless, we should bring it up. The card is actually really sweet in this one.
yeah.
2 damage to each creature without flying.
So it dodges, or your Delver dodges it, assuming they're flipped. It doesn't kill Nimble Mongoose, assuming you have Threshold, but it destroys elves.
It wrecks them.
Yeah, unless you want to use that tumble part,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't think you do. Squirrels. Yes,
Do you
also-
actually play squirrels on Moto? Because that's pretty
also
exciting.
crushes squirrels?
Okay. Death and Taxes. I would not be. I mean, I'm fully expecting.
I just think Delver decks are just too good right now.
There is one player in the Seattle area that every time that he comes up here is playing a Stoneforge deck.
Yeah.
And he has been in chat tonight.
Who? Who's doing what? I missed that.
There's one player who occasionally comes out from Seattle and is almost always on a Stoneforge deck.
Oh, right.
Kind of glad that there's
Turn
not a
one
lot of
down.
people going to Storm right now. Storm is another deck that I would call one of the biggest decks right now that's benefited.
So I got a turn 1 Glimpse for 0. That was, or not Glimpse. I'm sorry. Green Sun Zenith.
Turn 1 Green
Oh.
Sun,
It's got a blocker.
offering a block.
Yep.
And I like it.
Now here we go. We got
Stacking
the blind
up the
flip.
blocks.
No blind flip.
No.
Dylan cannot be this lucky. So, oh, we got to reset life.
I do need to reset life. Thank
Yeah,
you.
That's okay. So we got them both at 19. Actually, Coleman didn't reduce his life total.
You can just open that door and ask him what life he's at. Never mind.
Woohoo!
Ooh, no.
I had my hand on the
No,
handle.
because
That's okay.
he also took 1. He's
Yep.
actually at 1 less.
Who did?
Coleman.
Oh.
He should be at 18.
Coleman. Come on, Coleman.
Just ask him what his life is.
Hey, Cole, that fetch cost you one life or? And the Delaware attack? No, whoa.
All right. Coleman doing some basic math here. We got Dylan at 15 from a dismember. That's a costly dismember.
That is a costly dismember, but it was actually a costly sinkhole,
Yeah. Yep.
which makes it sound a lot better.
Yeah. The sinkhole. Oh, there. Oh, and it reveals the stifle eye. Yeah.
I think we're gonna fetch. I think we're gonna fetch now.
God, Rug Delver is so frustrating.
Reveal stifle. I better fetch it. No, you don't.
That just right there. So Dylan has successfully stifled away a land, dismembered another land.
Oh goodness! And there's a fetch in that on the battlefield while Dylan has a stifle.
Yep.
So that
frustrating.
that fetch land doesn't actually exist.
Yep. And
Oh.
it's another. God, now he's just swinging freely for 3 a turn. Oh, Coleman's got double fetch now, so now he's feeling
Classic.
confident.
Well, that's okay. Dylan's gonna draw his 3rd stifle.
Probably, naturally.
And then he's gonna spell pierce the natural order.
I think. Yep, he's gonna stifle that one. Okay, he's gonna do that.
Oh man.
That was unbelievable.
What?
He did it. He did it. He did it.
Double stifle. Nicola, thank you so much for hitting that sub button. It's amazing having
This
you.
is why Rug Delver is the most frustrating deck.
I had to take a phone call. Somebody left his cell phone.
Okay, no problem. Thanks. The most frustrating deck of all time.
3 stifle.
Stifle. Reveal the stifle. Stifles again. Has the 3rd stifle for the the 3rd fetch land, and then when he goes to try to cast a spell, he dazes it. That is. It's not fun.
That's the most frustrating thing in the world.
It is. Rug Delver. I don't know. I don't know what he
And
unfortunately
he's
Coleman
been
just
paying
did.
life for all these fetches. A glimpse with only 1 other mana and a spell pierce to take it down.
That's not fun magic.
Oh yes. Oh goodness, that is delightful. That is just amazing. We are going
Dylan
to.
goes down to 4 life, and it is over because of swing for 3.
Oh.
That was literally, yeah. When literally has it all becomes life.
That was incredible.
If anyone ever wanted to know what Rug Delver does best, it is tilt your opponent and have everything.
Dylan seems like he's having fun. Both
Yeah.
of them seem like they're.
Yeah, so he brings in 2 Abrupt Decays and a Scavenging Ooze. There's not a lot. Gosh, brutal is definitely a good way to put it. That was
that was delightful.
that was difficult.
That was awesome.
I would have been mad.
I
don't
would
know.
be so excited if I was either one of these players.
I would not have held my cool.
There is nothing as cool as like watching someone do exactly what they wanted to do. I'm like
agree.
unnecessarily wholesome though, so I'm probably the exception.
Submerge too, huh? So
Oh
it brings in-
goodness. The funny thing is that Elves is such a bad matchup for Rugged.
Yeah,
Not anymore.
yeah. Not if your opponent
What are
just
you
has
talking about?
triple stifle.
What are you talking about? Triple Stifle is so good against
Man,
Elves.
That's such a. I cannot believe that.
That's-
That was very. That was very difficult.
Let's go to the booth and see if we can get a final matchup for the evening.
man.
Oh, that was fun. We'll see you up there. Hello, and thank you so much for joining. My name's TJ.
I'm Dylan.
This is Dylan. He's the store owner. Tell you
Hi.
what. Oh,
I'm not the man who just triple stifled someone. That is so rude. I'm so mad about
I
that.
know. That was brutal.
Okay.
I love that he didn't have enough to bring in that there was still Spell Pierce in against Elves, by the way.
Right. Yeah. So because there's just neither one of the matches has anything really against each other. Elves brings in a single Scavenging Ooze and 2 Abrupt Decays, which is like
Cool.
okay.
Yeah.
And yeah. Probably the funnest match.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Oh man, what roof? Oh, Rufio?
Rufio. Hello. Thank you for switching that follow button. It's a pleasure having you here. You're amazing and awesome and all kinds of cool. Can we have Coleman on to comment on that last game? Nope. Will not. He'll start talking like he talks like Tron. I don't need that kind of negativity in this stream. This is a stream all about positivity, having fun with the game. So we don't need Coleman's thoughts on that. And there's no sense in ignoring the person who won to get the thoughts on the person who lost. That sounds awful. You're cooking pasta? I love pasta. Pasta's great. I want pasta now. I should go get pasta. Oh, do I want pasta? Oh, man. I need to investigate the odds of pasta. Let's see. Odds of making pasta. Okay. Pass the pasta. Pasta's so good! Or poutine. Poutine also good if I get it from a place that makes good poutine, which I apparently have not found. But I need to find one. Either way, I'm excited. Ooh, look at that. We're posting some storm lists in the chat. I can dig it, and we're going to see if there's anything more to be seen. But thank you so much for joining. I know that I've said it before, but quick note. Legacy GPT tomorrow at noon Pacific time. Be here for it. Be here or be square. It's going to be awesome and amazing. It's 10:15 now, which means that in about 14 hours, we will be having a Legacy GPT here at Geek Fortress. I'll be staring at the Coal Maniac.
Yo, turns out when you get triple stifled and, stone range 6 times, it's pretty bad.
Told you it'd be all negative.
Yeah, anyway, whatever. I do have another match for you.
Tell me more about it.
You've got Kevin on the wall. Or no, sorry, facing the wall.
Okay.
Against Dylan. Yes, I know.
Is it a feature?
This is an exhibition.
Gotcha.
This is, I think the last one of the night, 'cause everyone else is actually don't worry.
Except he had to move.
watch us again?
No.
They're playing a real game.
Okay. And we are going to see it happen. All right, let's head on down to the field and watch another exhibition match of this sweet, sweet Legacy action. We'll see you down there. Okay, so Kevin on Burn versus Dylan on Rug Delver should be quite favored for Burn, but let's find out. Let's find out. It's a 44-hour drive. Can you make it? Maybe if they wait for you. It is beginning at noon, so please be sure to join us there. Mitch, quote, investigate the odds of pizza. It's exclamation point ad quote. It's exclamation point ad quote. But I am excited about it. So, please do join me. But otherwise, thank you so much to everybody who is in the chat and watching. Your viewership means the world to me because this is just more and more what I love to do. Like, if there was a world in which this is what I do and and I have the opportunity to affect the Magic community in a positive way and be included at the upper levels of the Magic community and just make it a better place, then that's what I want to do, and that's what I'm going to do, because I don't see myself not doing that. I'm just going to keep chasing it, and I'm going to make it happen, and you are all such an incredibly huge part of that with me. So thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting what this stream does. Thank you for just talking with us, being the mods that you are, being the incredible community that you are. There is no better Twitch community than this one. There just isn't. And I've been in a lot of them. But you are all truly just incredible. And I love it. So thank you for those of you who have followed. Thank you for those of you who sub. Thank you for the mods. And thank you for just the people. Man. Goodness. I have no idea what you were trying to say there, Alexis Bros. But, oh, great. You're trying to say great. Thank you. And also, just thank you to Conley for swinging by. Not sure if you're still in here or if you took off, but that kind of means a lot to me. Cannot wait to do some commentary with you. Looking forward to getting that new machine so that we can do that. And we've got a Grim Lavamancer joining the field. Dylan, with a second land, does have some lightning bolts. Grim Lavamancer are going to be really good at taking down those. Ooh. You know what? I get sappy. That's okay. That is okay. 4th out of 36 for your modern F&M tonight. Go Grixis Delver. Very nice. Congratulations. Is this the final? No, the finals was actually this same Rug Delver up against Coleman on Elves. And Rug Delver took it with triple Stifle against 3 fetches, which was just brutal. And then Eidolon joining the battlefield. Dylan's going to have a rough time on that one. Has to exile the Force of Will to take that one down. So a Lightning Bolt on the Grim Lavamancer, Force of Wills on the Eidolon, and a pass back to Dylan. Looking a little bit problematic, however. Tarmogoyf is going to be a problem. We've got Enchantment, Creature, Land, and Instant. So this is already a 4-5. Land here, we're going to go down to 17. We're going to Lava Spike the face, fall down to 15 in Dylan's realm. And we're also going to go with a Chain Lightning, and we're actually going to be down to 12. That's going to be a sorcery, which is going to move it up to a 5-6. And now we have got the hit in for 5, and now it is just a battle of who can draw live more. The problem is that Kevin's needs to actually draw, and Dylan has already got his on the field. So Kevin falling behind in this one, but if he's got 12 points of burn in hand, he might be able to come out ahead. Then again, if Dylan has anything as far as counterspells go, he... Ooh. This is when you play the Spell Pierce. Yep. Spell Pierce it. And that is going to force Craven to pay an extra 2. He is going to decide not to do that. Going to take another 1, fall down to 11, and fire off a Lightning Bolt. Notably, Kevin is about to be dead. Not Dylan's. Like, Kevin's Barbarian Ring is going to put him onto a 2-turn clock with this hit. We're down to 6, which means that if he wants to activate this Barbarian Ring, he's going to be... Never mind, he's on it anyway, with that Nimble Mongoose, which technically can be hit by say, a Searing Blaze, but not well. If there are 3 1-mana burn spells in hand, life is going to be good for Kevin. If there are not, it's not going to go well. Grim Lavamancer, that actually might buy a turn. And that's double Fire Blast. Double Fire Blast is not where you want to be. At all. That is brutal. A Nimble Mongoose is the draw. We attack. Probably blocking the Tarmogoyf. Could offer the trade, however, but then you can't use the Barbarian Ring. And we're only going to take 1, fall down to 5, play out another Nimble Mongoose. And Kevin's looking for a win. Likely doesn't have it, unfortunately. With double Fire Blast, it is just... I think you attack for 2, and you hope to Oh, wait, is that actually enough? It is! I forgot the Barbarian Ring! Kevin, when you go back and watch this, I apologize. I totally forgot what Barbarian Ring does. 2 damage. Oh! Making it happen with the Barbarian Ring! Beautiful! Taking it down. I was surprised to see that Delver was going to win a game. Burn, so favored in this matchup. Takes it down with the... Oh, I love it. Fire Blast to close it out. Dylan not having the final counterspell. And we are getting ready for a game 2. Voltor, it's good to see you. You're great. I don't even need you to become an Electrode because you're great just the way that you are. Oh man, but Barbarian Ring is bad versus Delver. Stifle counters it. Fact. Burn was your first Legacy deck. Same here. Death Shadow is overrated in your opinion. Okay. Okay. That's an opinion. That is an opinion to be had. Let's see here. Alright, so Dylan going to be on the play with this Rug Delver deck. Let's see what we can put together. Kevin, with these Price of Progress, didn't even fire one off in game 1 and still taking away the win. That is going to be a big card against Rug Delver, which does not have any capacity to go for that. Eyes, Twitch, it's good to see you. Sometimes those eyes do twitch, but otherwise the rest of the time you're just got your eyes on Twitch. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a part of this stream with me. Thanks for being a part of that stream with us. And I appreciate you being here. To all the people who haven't yet, be sure to hit that follow button. Join us more in the future. We've got a Legacy GPT tomorrow at noon. Plus. You can also, of course, consider hitting that sub button. Subscribe to the channel. Get some cool emotes. Get no ads. No ads is a big cool thing. And, of course, you can help us reach our goal of 175 subscribers. There's a lot of decks. Burn just decimates Shadow. That's wrong, actually. Death Shadow is favored in the Burn matchup in Modern. Fun fact. That doesn't mean that it is impossible for Burn, and Burn can win, but the Burn player has to know exactly what they're doing against Death Shadow, like against the wrong half of Death Shadow's deck. But otherwise, it's not good. Okay. And your beloved Ad Nauseam combo has nothing to fear against it. Oh, that's true, especially when you're running... God, did you see the sweet tech in the sideboard of the top deck from Atlanta? Okay. So, we have got a Lightning Bolt taking down the Monastery Swiss Spear. Dylan then playing down a Tarmogoyf. He is at 19 to match Kevin's 19, however. I'm sure he'll adjust that die soon. And bad Death Shadow players will lose to Burn? Sure. But, like, medium Burn players will lose to Death Shadow. And good ones might, too. I have an exciting question for Dylan. I can't tell. What's your life total? Thanks, man. Gonna fetch from Kevin, who's going down to 18. Yeah, Burn is surprisingly bad against this version of Death Shadow. Burn's not that good against 12 discard spells and then a Tarmogoyf. It's also not that great against Stubborn Denial and Snap Bolts. Or Snap Stubborn Denials especially. So we've got a Tarmogoyf coming out, and we're going to daze that from Dylan. We've still got that Tarmogoyf sitting out. Enchantment Creature Land Instance. 4/5 coming in hot. And Kevin is going to be taking 4. By the look of it, Dylan's still resting at that 19 life total. Looking pretty okay for a turn 3. Dropping down another Tarmogoyf, and Kevin is going to struggle against this. Tarmogoyf, one of the better cards against Burn because it is so resilient and presents such a fast clock. You can look at Tarmogoyf at a similar way as to why Burn ran Wild and Cuddle in the first place, because a creature that deals that much damage is more consistent than a spell. Rug gets to do that with an enormously fast clock in this Tarmogoyf. Kevin already falling down to 13 after taking 4 and then going for the fetch means that he has got 2 turns at best. This is if Dylan doesn't have a Lightning Bolt in hand and Kevin doesn't have any other fetches. Or, I mean, Flame Rift likely not in this deck since they don't really cast that anymore. But we do have a Searing Blaze. We're going to hit one of those. It's a live target, which is why we're going for it. We're down to 16, and we're likely going to see something that puts we're down to 13. Dylan's side of the field. Dylan untapping 2 Tarmogoyfs, turns them sideways, bashes for 8, and we're down to 5. How are we looking on that side of the field? We've got Brainstorm a Daze, and we might be able to catch a Daze. Otherwise, we've got Brainstorm to try and find an answer if it's ever needed. The sorcery does... Oh, actually, we're at 3. I think that sorcery actually made it more. That's true. Okay, so that's a 5-6, and we are looking for a Lightning Bolt. Dylan decides to try and find the Lightning Bolt, doesn't find it by going for this early one. Now he's got to set up because he does need to play around it. Does need to play around that. And we're going to go for a fetch. Ponder. Trying to find a Lightning Bolt to close out the game. Can you do it, Dylan? I believe. Alright, everybody. Can we type in our mental power to find a Lightning Bolt? Nope, no luck. Though the Spell Pierce is probably worth keeping. Yep. So a Spell Pierce and a Daze. Dylan can counter any spell except an Exquisite Firecraft. Why is it okay to call Temur Rug, but not okay to call Grixis? Personally, I would call it Temur. If this was modern, I would be calling it Temur. But in Legacy, it's mostly because they call it Rug Delver. And I think it's important to just accept that Legacy players are going to be Legacy players, and they're going to like their deck names, because, well, they've been all their tournament support has been taken away from them. The least we can do is give them their deck names, right? So, Delver Tech Game 2. But mostly because I think the names are just better. I don't think that this is a matter of Grixis should be called the same way, but really it's that Rug should be called the same way as Grixis is. But that's, you know, a point that most Legacy players don't agree with me on, so we call it Rug Delver when we're doing Legacy. I'm totally going to get pasta tonight. God, I love pasta. Love pasta so much. If I could eat pasta forever, I would. But only if I could eat pasta forever, but somehow change its nutritional values. Rug was the name before Temur was a thing and it just becomes synonymous? Well, I agree. But I also think that because Temur now exists, it should just be called Temur Delver. That is my opinion. I'm aware that most Legacy players disagree with me, which is why I don't call it Temur Delver. Investigate the odds of pasta. Odds are good. The odds are good. We have got a fetch into a Goblin Guide. It's a good start. We're going to hit for 1, and a Wasteland is the reveal. Dead card of the matchup, but you know what? You got to get what you get, and at least it means that that's not going to be the draw for the turn. Volcanic Island coming down. We've got a Lightning Bolt. Dylan looking to get a Goblin Guide trigger before firing that one off. Mountain comes down. You fell asleep. That's okay, Alexis. I'm glad you got some good rest. Welcome back. How did you fall asleep? Wait. You fell asleep? You commented like 3 minutes ago. Did you fall asleep for 2 minutes? A Delver. Revealed. Revealing it twice, taking it down. Okay. And we have got a Rift Bolt. Suspending that, we do still have a Goblin Guide. We draw in. We've got a Delver of Secrets, another fetch land. Ah, you're in bed at the tablet. Wake up, Alexis Bros. You just think that Rug sounds better than Temur? I think that that's largely because you're used to saying Rug. I think that Temur would sound better if we were used to saying it. It's like everybody looks like their name, right? They look like a Dylan. That's because they are Dylan. A lot of that just has to do with being familiar with it. Okay. Teamer sounds kind of gross. To each their own. To each their own. Okay, so we have got a Rift Bolt out on the battlefield. The first one firing off. Dylan at 12. Kevin at 19. Looking phenomenal right now. Looking real positive. Dylan functionally at 9. 2 lanes still up. Price of Progress looking devastating. Nostalgia's a strong feeling. You are 100% correct. You can say, I mean, yeah. I think Mardu sounds right. I think Sultai sounds incredibly good. I think that Jeskai sounds fantastic. I think that, what are the other ones? Hold on. Gotta remember what all the other ones are. Because I went out of order. Sultai. Mardu sounds good. Jeskai. Oh, Obzon. I actually think that Obzon sounds good. I think that Teamer is probably the one that just sounds the least natural, but I think it's also pretty good. Like, it does those colors well. So I actually do like Teamer. It's just my least favorite of them. Bant is a cool name. So is Mardu. Like, I think part of it is because we've had Bant and all that stuff for like 8 years. So we're pretty familiar with them. Okay. So anyway, that's neither here nor there in the grand scheme of things. We're going to reveal a Brainstorm. A Price of Progress. Not too good. Or at least it doesn't resolve. A Stifle. Also looking good to take down the Rift Bolt. To stop the activation, or stop it being cast. So using that Stifle as a counterspell. And we are sitting with a Daze in hand. You can stifle things coming off of Suspend. Yes, you can. And it feels pretty good. Sultai, Mardu, Obzon, Jeskai, Teamer, Grixis, Mardu, Bant, Esper, Jund. See, when you say all 10 of them, they all sound supernatural. Like, I love it. When you list out all 10, they all blend in with each other really, really well. I think it's just the time factor. We're used to one of them, we're not used to the other. I think, give it 5 years, and I think that most of the names will be called by the name that they were given on Tarkir. Actually, that's a good point, Alexis Rose. Why do people not use the guild names? That would be kind of cool. Gruul aggro. So, pretty sizable attack for 7. We are going to go down to 12. Dylan was so far behind, but then a quick stifle, a daze on the Price of Progress, and then a stifle on the Rift Bolt left Dylan 7 damage short. Now instead of 7, Dylan is at 11. Or sorry, instead of taking 7, Dylan is still at 11. And a Force of Will is revealed. It's an okay card in this matchup. We're going to take 2. We're going to fall down to 9. And we are going to attack in for 7. We're going to fall down to 5. Brainstorm getting cast. Do we find double bolts? No. In fact, we found 0 bolt. Can we die this next turn, though, with a Spell Pierce, a Daze, and a Force of Will? Almost certainly not. And a Stifle. So we've got a... Almost certainly not. Daze, Spell Pierce, and Force of Will pitching the Stifle all live this turn. I would be impressed if Kevin wouldn't do that. Though I guess theoretically could fire off both of these fetches and then double Exquisite Firecraft and attack for 2. Nope, not going to happen. We're going to attack. We're going to block 1, try and fall down to 2. And we're going to hope to have double Exquisite Firecraft. Oh, nope. Why not play the land? What do you mean why not play the land? Do you mean Dylan? Why not play the land? Probably because of Price of Progress. Just in case it gets through somehow. And we've got a Fire Blast. Because it's the last card, Dylan doesn't even take the time to counter it. Just says, okay. Dylan takes the win in 3. Dylan just beating 2 bad matchups in a row. Woo! And we're going to head on up to the field. All right, let's head on up, and we're going to call it a night. But remember, Legacy GPT coming soon. I'll see y'all out there. Hello, and thank you so much for joining. My name's TJ. This is the Geek Fortress stream, and we are coming up on the end of our Legacy evening here, but that is okay because there is more to see. If you enjoyed this stream, be sure to join us more in the future by hitting that follow button. There's always a lot more to be seen, and I am always excited about what we can show, what we can do. Every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, we have got magic coming your way. But on top of even that, we have got tomorrow a Legacy GPT, and I'm so ridiculously excited about that. So please do join me for it. Plus, it's going to be followed by our Modern weekly event. And in the meantime, hit that follow button. Consider subscribing to this channel because, I mean, if nothing else, it's supporting Legacy content. And I know for a fact that the Legacy community wants more of it. So if you do want it, support it. Just tossing that out. We are still running GPTs. There are 2 more. Our last one will be at the beginning of June, and I will try and stream that one as well. And then they will be all over. Let's find out who else is live and head on over to that. Let's see. Oh, you know what we're going to host? We are going to host Elion doing a 60-hour stream. The Pickle Challenge. How long will the event run tomorrow? Hopefully right up until 6. So it's going to have a cut to top 8 or cut. So it is going to be a lot. We're gonna host Elion doing a giant weekend stream for charity. Doctors Without Borders. Sub here if you want. But if you want to donate to Elion TV. We are going to host on over there. You should be watching this one. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be awesome. And you can get him to eat some pretty gross pickle concoctions. But please check this one out. It's for charity. It's for a good cause. Elion's great. Fantastic person. Fun player. Was on the Loading Ready pre-release. And in general, just, support cool things, right? It's cool. So we're going to host on over to Elion TV, show some support. Let's give a big ol' host to a stream that does not have the viewer count that it should right now. Please stick with me. Please show some support. Check it out. It'll be amazing. But from all of us here at Geek Fortress, located in Snohomish, Washington, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a part of this stream. Thank you for just being who you are. This is a phenomenal community, and I can't wait to interact with you more. I'll see you all tomorrow in just a little bit. Until then, good night. You're amazing, and I'll see you next time. In just about 13 hours, but not the unlucky number, the lucky number. Good night, everybody. Stay amazing. Enjoy Elion TV.